Hey everybody, Carl here, brand new podcast. Thanks for tuning in once again. I just want to take a few moments here and thank you all for tuning in for this third episode of our Musing While Boozing. I'd just like to go over a few of the sponsors here for today's episode. First sponsor I want to talk about is Rumors Comedy Club here in Winnipeg. Do you like laughing? Do you like sitting there with your friends and going, God damn, it's time I bust a gut? Well, I got to tell you, Rumors Comedy Club is featuring some of the best comedians out there. And coming up soon is BRIAN POSEHN. He's on September 14th to 16th. If the name BRIAN POSEHN doesn't ring a bell, if you saw his face, you'd recognize him. This guy has been in The Big Bang Theory, You're the Worst, Kids with Anger Management, The Sarah Silverman Show, as well as he's been on Just Shoot Me, Seinfeld, News Radio, Californication, and Everybody Loves Raymond. There will be links below in the show notes where you can find his tickets, as well as a video of some of the things he's done. I gotta highly recommend this guy is one of the funniest comedians out there, and we should be honored the fact that he's coming here to Winnipeg. So please, if you like a wonderful evening out with your friends, then I encourage you to head down to Rumors Comedy Club and check out BRIAN POSEHN, September 14th, 15th, and 16th. Do you sit in there, listen to this podcast with your friends, having a few drinks and thinking, God damn, my place stinks? Well, boy, do I have the solution for you. What I'd like you to look into here is the fact that, it's time that you make your place smell a little more fresh. And I want you to check out the following website, and that's jensrejuvenatingsense.scentsy.us. Of course, I'll have the links down below. But most importantly, I want you to go to this website. I want you to pick out a couple of the amazing candles they have that plug in. You put those in there. It doesn't matter what you're doing or smoking. And your little man cave is going to smell a hell of a lot better. So again, check out Jen's Rejuvenating Scents at jensrejuvenatingsense.scentsy.us. And again, all the information will be down below. Please take a look. And the last, but certainly not least, our tradition here at Musing While Boozing is we would like to introduce you to the different podcasts that are out there. And one that is currently out there that you may not know of is called The One True Way. This is a podcast that is based on cults, and specifically how to not get wasted and wake up in the morning and find out you're in cults. Run by a couple of amazing girls, and they actually included to us a promo. I'd just like to play it here now.
Hey, I'm Jody.
And I'm Jess.
And we do a little podcast called The One True Way.
So what exactly is this podcast about anyway?
We do a different cult every episode.
And how often do these things come out?
Every other week. So if you're interested in cults, check us out. You can find us on all major platforms.
Well, hey, The One True Way. I got to encourage you. Go ahead, check them out. Again, the information will be down below on where to find their podcast. And I encourage you to check out a few other ones. I mean, there is everything from sports to the cult to, guys just getting ripped. But whatever suits your fancy, I'm sure there's a niche out there for you. Well, that's it for today's sponsors. Looking forward to our podcast. We had Eric Legault, a member of Maiden Manitoba, join us. So I want you to grab a beer, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as we go into the third episode of Musing While Boozing.
Musing While Boozing, because the best thinking happens while drinking. Hot topics over cold drinks.
Okay, hey, welcome to episode 3 of Musing While Boozing. Cheers!
Yeah.
There we go.
Number 3.
And for our avid listeners, you would have heard some extra cheersing there because we are thrilled to say that we have our first actual live in-person guest to our show here on episode 3.
I'm very excited.
Very, very excited. So joining us this evening for a couple of round drinks and a bit of conversation is Mr. Eric Legault. Pronounced right?
Legault.
Legault.
Yeah, nice,
So let's
thanks
Legault.
for having me. Glad to be here, folks.
Glad to have you on.
The infamous Musing While Boozing.
Yes, infamous. We just did a search on a pirate search, and we just came up 7th in the subcategory of musing on Apple iTunes search. So our new goal is to someday be number 1.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's alphabetical. It might be impossible, but
We all need goals.
yeah, we're working on it. So joining us today is Eric. Eric, give us a 10-second breakdown on yourself. Specifically, we have you here mainly because Mike and I, both being music enthusiasts, you are a member of, I'll say, one of Manitoba's
best and most highly regarded cover bands. How's that for an intro?
You said cover band. We're a tribute band.
Yeah, so already's got it wrong, eh?
There we go.
Cover band? You mid-level?
Yeah. You just insulted him, basically.
That's, you know what, and we couldn't talk about you without you here, without you having to correct us. So that's fantastic. So this tribute band, who are they?
Maiden Manitoba, Canada's hardest working Iron Maiden tribute band.
So it's not a Bon
Like us on
Jovi band.
Facebook. MaidenManitoba.com.
We will have all the appropriate links for everything in the show notes here.
Catch us in Selkirk at the Merchant Hotel at the end of October.
Oh,
Make sure to subscribe to our Facebook page. Get notified when concert dates.
So
you got that down.
Mike and I are going to watch you
Stop
here.
pimping. Never stop pimping.
Yes.
No, and we're going to get into all that. So, of course, I've been following you guys from afar for what I assume was the inception of the band.
Yeah, I've been over 3 years now.
I was going to ask, about 3 years?
3 years in May.
And how many gigs?
I think we're up to 28.
That is incredible.
28. We're in
I
3
still
years.
remember seeing you at the A years ago, and I'm like, damn, that sounds good.
In like maybe our first year.
Yeah.
So 3 years, and it's been an incredible history from what I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, I never would have imagined we would have that many shows in that amount of time at this stage in history. Kind of, going back to how I was raised in the music scene in the 80s, when you can go see a band at any suburban bar playing 3 sets a night, Monday to Saturday, and go to any bar and you can pick and choose. And now it's just there's not as much places to play in. So you can get paid to do that. I mean, we struck gold, and we're very thankful to have had the opportunity to play at all these shows. And
it's been fantastic.
Feel the love. There's still a very dedicated live music scene here, smaller. Obviously, it's not 1987 anymore. But, I made an effort myself, even before I started the band, to go and see every live rock band I could when I could to support them, because you need to support live music because it's just not. It needs to support people.
Well, I mean, we're all about supporting everything local here. That's one of the things we're doing. We want to get in touch with as many interesting local people as possible who'd like to bless us with the opportunity to come and sit down, have a drink with us, and let us know what's going on. I got to be honest, I haven't been into a lot of local live music for a while. Not since probably the late 90s, early 2000s. So I'm trying to think of, where in Winnipeg... Yeah, start with Winnipeg. Where in Winnipeg have you played?
Many times at the A, I think in 6 or 7 now.
Yeah.
At least 3 or 4 weekends kind of thing. We've played the Zoo before it closed. We've played the Cavern 3 times. We've played... What am I missing? Oh, the 40. No, not the 40. Well, that's in Brandon. We've played the 40 a few times.
I saw
the
that.
Oak.
I was going to say, you have to be down there.
Am I missing any place in Winnipeg? I think that might be it for Winnipeg. But we played... Our first show was at the Manitoba Mayhem Motorcycle Rally.
Well, and I'm not mistaken, didn't you play quite the musical festival, too, at some point?
That's right. Our biggest show was at Rock in the Fields, Minidosa. 2 summers ago.
Yeah.
We headlined the second stage on the Saturday night.
Yeah.
But Night Ranger headlined the first stage, and they finished before, so Night Ranger basically opened for us.
That is that is fantastic.
We have no video from that night.
Yeah.
We were just idiots.
Well, I think actually I was reading, because I avidly follow your page, I was reading the comments there that you had no video, you thought someone might have some on their phone.
Yeah, one of our biggest fans, who's like the biggest fan of every band in Canada, the guy's an institution unto himself, Super Dave.
Yeah.
He recorded one song on his phone, but his channel got taken down by YouTube for whatever stupid reason. He had tons of rock videos on there. Every Canadian band in the country knows Super Dave, basically.
And I think
we have a
that's
lot of good pictures.
I think that's a big thing too. We were talking about his channel got taken down. Listening to a lot of, it's come from a lot of podcasts before about the whole, copyright versus promotion. And people, you want to get it out there, and then someone who can root for everybody is saying, well, hey, I own that material. And I think with the changing tide of the entertainment industry in general, it's people saying, listen, it's more important for me to get my name out there than it is to make the 12 cents off some stream or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. We've had some videos that are marked for possible copyright violations, and we're just a cover band. Sorry, tribute band.
It's catchy.
We're
it's
not
catchy.
live streaming recorded Maiden music.
Right.
I mean, I don't get how they can be flagging bands doing other performers' material. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, technically that's totally legal. So,
but it's
cool. And if I'm just trying to not lead the conversation because I have a rabid interest in it. Didn't you guys break up?
We did. Of course, every band has its shit.
Well, you guys you guys have compressed 20 years of rock history into 3 years.
Yeah. Now we're looking for a new drummer, and we've had some additions.
I saw that. How's that going?
We are currently considering a few candidates, and we'll probably be making a decision soon.
That is fantastic.
But yeah, we of course went through that little breakup period. We're back together. We'll be stronger than ever with a new drummer,
and because we like the juicy bits, without throwing anybody under the bus, can we ask what was the tension, that year and a half point that caused the breakup? Because we know everybody else is listening because you're pimping this to the guys in the band.
Let's just say sometimes we're not always proud of the way we behave when we're under stress.
Yeah,
and I've been down that road too.
Well, I mean, who hasn't?
Exactly. Yeah, but we're all good people, and we know how to put water under the bridge. Or water under the fridge, as the
sign of any successful group marriage, anything, is the fact that you can get through it and get back.
Yeah.
So that is fantastic.
Give us a break, and I think that was at the point where maybe the fame was getting to all of our heads or something. It was like, holy crap! Because we did 15 shows in 12 months or something, or something more than that. It was it was a whirlwind, and it does get to the point where you expect that kind of crowds all the time. And then you go to a DA and on Saturday night there's 6 people there and you do your best show. It's and then you get home, it's like, fuck. No,
is a bitchin' solo still bitchin' in the chorus if no one heard it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's we're just pretend rock stars, but you get the real emotions that come with performing for people, and because that's what we're there for, performing for people.
So what are you looking at, drummer? What are you looking for?
They have to have the talent to play Legault drums, which is a very hard thing to do. He is one of a kind. That guy, his right foot is a weapon. And of course you have to be a Maiden fan. That's what I was looking for. I'm like, we are note for note purists, and we all have official instruments. We try to look like them as much as possible, but I'm Dave Murray. I don't have blonde hair.
No,
but I wear pretty much what he wears, and except for his wristbands, which I'm trying to one day buy for $150 off of fucking eBay. But yeah, we want to make sure we capture those nuances and do them justice, because it's Iron fucking Maiden, and you don't want to screw it up. And there would be no band without Calvin Turco on vocals, who sounds just like Bruce Dickinson. Right? That's his YouTube channel sounds like.
I think I was showing Mike one of the videos where because when he comes out, I'll be the first to say he doesn't exactly look like Bruce.
Looks like Portage the Prairie.
He certainly does.
I mean that would love Calvin.
And Mike and I are both from the Portage.
We're Manitobans.
But when he opens his mouth, amazing.
Yeah, I've had so many people say I just close my eyes and I think I'm at an Iron Maiden show.
Yeah.
At least a few people have come up to me and said in this exact same phrase, I have seen Maiden 11 times, 7 times, 15 times. Now I can say I've seen them one more.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
I agree. You guys are awesome.
Thanks. We've worked hard. I've practiced those tunes so many times. I've studied Dave Murray's tone. I've looked at YouTube videos of his guitar tech. I've invested obviously in the instruments and tried to replicate that tone as much as possible. And little did I know, over the years I developed the same kind of legato style that Dave Murray uses, which is a lot of hand-on to pull-offs. So I had that fluidity already. So I could mimic his style the best I could, but a lot of fucking practice.
And you were started saying there, you guys actually have, even though you don't have officially signed the drummer yet, you have another show booked or coming up?
Yeah, so we're going to have to get him up to speed pretty quick.
And again, when is that show?
It's October 20... Let me get the date here. It's probably the Halloween weekend. On a Saturday, I'm guessing.
Very cool.
Once again, make sure to go to MaidenManitoba.com. We have the tour dates listed there.
And again, all the links to everything will be in the show notes. So please take a chance and please check them out.
It is at Saturday, October 28th at the Merchant Hotel in Selkirk. And we do have a show booked in January, but it's for a private birthday party at the Tijuana Yacht Club with us and Steel Beaver, whoever this person is.
Nice.
I'd like to know.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Very, very cool. And you apparently this is only your side gig, right, Eric? You actually do other things for money?
I'm a software consultant. I own my own incorporated business and have time for that, the band, and my family, and going to the gym. That's basically all I have time for.
And you fit the gym in there. That's great.
I have to use a trainer, or else I will never fucking go out. Tomorrow, I'll go tomorrow. But if it's scheduled and I'm paying for it, then I'm going to show up.
We'll talk about that in a second. Actually, I do want to stream one of your songs up here, folks. So anybody is interested, and you're thinking, well, Maiden Manitoba, how much do they really sound like them here? What I'm going to run off here is, I believe it was one of your shows 2 years ago.
Run to the video that we've actually Brad Sauer, the guitar player in our band who plays Adrian Smith, did a wonderful job.
You can actually monitor here if you want.
Stock video footage to mimic the same kind of footage used in Iron Maiden's actual video, interspersed, of course, with a bunch of live cuts of us.
Excellent. So we're going to just give that a quick listen to, folks, here. Of course, Eric can spice it up with anything he brings forward here.
Well,
that's okay. Should be streamed in. The link to this video directly right in the show notes.
Brings me back to the days black and white.
Nice. So when you played at Minnedosa, which I'll be honest, when I was reading the comments, it made me Google the fact to see if Minnedosa was still going. And we had a friend, Todd Schufeld, who used to go to Minnedosa for like when it was huge. In the first iteration. So I was like, oh, it's still going. It's awesome there. How big was that crowd?
It was big. I don't remember the exact numbers, but there were maybe 5,000 playing at Ranger, 4,000 left, 1,000 stayed.
That's fantastic.
I would do that now. I might do myself.
Oh, that is fantastic. It's a fantastic video, and the production and the similarity between you guys and the actual song. Because of course, I get bored downstairs. I queued them up, played one, played the other one. There's obviously differences, but it just sounds, like from concert night to concert night. Not the fact that it's an entirely different band. Like I will stand up and reiterate what somebody said when I've heard Maiden twice. And kudos to you, especially during the instrumental work. Yeah, you guys are nailing it.
We are looking for a full-time Eddie. Anybody wants to play Eddie?
Did you hear that, folks? Full-time Eddie. Now that sounds like a job you can sink your teeth into. So do you guys have any more plans to shoot any more videos?
That's not on the current radar. We do have some big plans.
Not to both of our listeners.
Yeah. But basically we're looking to expand the United States.
That's fantastic. Excellent. That's fantastic. Oh, well, now you got us intrigued. When that comes up, I can tell you right now, the option is here for you to come back on our show. And after you make your own official announcement, we'd love to have you on to discuss what these people are looking to sound like. No one's messaging to tell me otherwise here, so.
Basically think it's going bigger, so.
Excellent. Well, that, again, was the track from Maiden Manitoba. Of course, we will post the link in the description, so please make sure you check us out. So then we were talking a little about the fact that you do some consulting, right, Eric?
Right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So
Eric Legault Consulting Inc. is my boring company name.
Excellent.
But I also sort of have an unofficial doing business as name as Rockin' Software.
Which is the one
with no G. Rockin'.
Which is the one I'm more familiar with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you are what's called a Microsoft
MVP?
Yes. What? Again, not that I just live vicariously through everybody else's life, but what is a Microsoft MVP? Because this is where you guys might lose me, because Mike's also in IT. But tell me what that is, what that certification involves, and why. And then I see that you do get to go to a few conferences, or you've traveled because of it and actually done some instructing. I'm just like, not that I know everything about you, but if you could just enlighten a little bit.
I'll explain my MVP-ness.
Yes, please. Because you are definitely the most valuable person we've had on this show.
That exactly is what an MVP stands for, Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. You said certification, but technically it's not a certification like the other Microsoft Certified Professional or MCSD, MCT, Microsoft Train. It's an award, so to speak. It's something that has to be renewed on a yearly basis.
Like a level.
It's definitely a level above those that are certified. Where
like he's leveling up.
Yes, he's leveling up. That's right.
Like a video game achievement.
In a sense.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Well, the best way of describing what an MVP is we're kind of like elected senators for Microsoft.
Oh, okay, it's like brand ambassadors, or an official technical brand ambassador.
Microsoft being the government, the people being the customers, and we represent the customers and we represent Microsoft to each other.
Okay.
So we're Microsoft's biggest boosters and their biggest critics. And that's one thing they love about us, is that we're honest and they get real-world feedback from the stuff that we've learned in the trenches.
Nice.
And basically, to become an MVP, you don't try to become an MVP because it's sort of a
first rule with MVP, don't talk about MVP.
Yeah. But if you're blogging or writing books or speaking at conferences, those are usually the best indicators. Or answering questions on online forums, which is primarily how I got started. 15 years ago, I've been an MVP for. There's about 200 in Canada, about 3,000 in the world.
Crazy.
I think there's maybe about 10 in Winnipeg now. I'm the longest serving MVP in Winnipeg. I think I was the second one in Winnipeg. But, becoming an MVP literally changed my life because it put a global feather in my cap and the business just started coming. Wow. That's when I realized I can make a go of this independently. Yeah. Which I did, I think, about 10 years ago now.
And then, so when you say independently, what do you do straight up? Is it just, any type of source programming IT solutions? Do you work with specific just Microsoft products? Or, if I were, what would a typical customer for you look like?
My customers are really different. They're all over the globe. I've had most of my business, I think 90% outside of Canada. At the heart, I'm a .NET developer, but I'm very highly specialized in Outlook add-ins and Office solutions. And if I want to expand a little bit, I used to be a SharePoint consultant big time. That's what I used to do when I was working with various Microsoft Gold partners. And my last job was with Imaginet in Winnipeg, which is the biggest Microsoft partner in the city. So I started as one of the first wave of SharePoint consultants, and I got sick of wearing a tie and going to meetings and shit like that. Being an Outlook MVP really narrowed down my niche, and I was able to be a big fish in a small pond, which is a lot easier if you want to start off as a small business rather than being a small fish in a big pond and having to fight for those scraps, right? So,
very cool.
Yeah.
It's too bad companies didn't realize, dress code, it really does kill a lot of things, right?
Thankfully in IT, and I think they've really relaxed that because you can't dress up nerds.
No.
They don't know how to dress.
As a manager, it's my biggest frustration. I always say sales must be really good if we're having a meeting about dress code. Either the management has just changed, or we've had some sort of pseudo customer complaint. I know in my current role right now, there was a planned changeover, thank God, but the CEO for H&R Block International did step down after X number of years, and his replacement, and then it was within a week that we got the email about blah blah blah, shirt, jacket, and tie dress code, which for someone like myself isn't a problem. I dress up for work every day, but I could just talking to some of the logistic managers, it was a big change. The cultural changes that organizations go through can be such a a waste of energy in terms of the resistance people put up for change. I mean, someone's asking, what's my biggest role right now? And it's actually trying to change a culture of organization. We were...
that's not the same as, I have 1, 2, 3 to do. That's a huge...
Well,
you're talking about the feel of a company, right?
The feel of a company, and it's the fact that, right now, in today's world, I've been stuck in retail inadvertently since I left IT because I answered an email from Home Depot. And that was in 2002. Retail, even from then to now, I see the difference. Customers would just walk in with money, and now with online, it doesn't matter what business you're in, people have other options. So what I've been faced with is taking someone who's been a tax professional for 20 years. You come in, I know everybody has to do taxes. I sit here, I do your taxes, I give you your product, you leave. We produce a product for you as a customer. And now people have other options. So now I have to get them to sell add-ons. So they've been changing the management structure of the entire, which is why they brought in some new DMs and stuff like that, which is really, I don't talk at all about taxes all day. Even I have a customer complaint, it's really not about taxes. What I'm there is to talk about, if you're my tax pro, Mike, and I'm like, listen, okay, yeah, you've done the taxes, but you talked about the insurance we offered? Are we talking about, the fact that we can do corporate business US? Did you talk about the fact that, we can do pay with refunds so we get a little bit of extra money because we have to earn more income? Your business is entirely online, so I guess you are the beneficiary of the online world, so to speak. But
yeah,
so you're saying you're like the banks just recently who got in shit for not really telling them about the products they were selling. Like, you at least tell us, right?
Well, we have to. That's just it. My biggest challenge is they don't. And so if you come in and taxes are supposed to be $100, we charge you $100 and you leave. And we're leaving opportunity on the table. And especially right now, the government's getting so tight with what's called post-assessments and audits, which I know are very familiar with.
Oh, no. Yes.
Yes.
I'm red flagged all the time.
And we sell a product that'll involve audit, insurance, representation, and document preparation. Now, in the past, we used to do that. As you get to HR Block, they just do that as part of their inclusion. Well, about 5-6 years ago, I made the change. And we have to actually sell that product now.
Audit insurance.
Yeah, audit insurance. It'll even cover up to $3,000 of taxes that say you didn't officially owe, but we screwed up. We'll actually pay that for you. But more importantly, it's just the protection of because we have all your documents. We'll be your representation. And it's a great product. Makes sense seeing the fact that I know from your history, Wendy's had a lot of issues with the CRA involving child support and stuff. That the fact is that to have someone go through those hoops for you is worth the $60. I think we pay, right?
Well, there's somebody like me who
yes,
I've hacked programs, I've done my thing, I've because I didn't want to pay. I didn't want to pay the corporation. But as I've gotten older, I'm getting lazy, and sometimes I'm willing to pay.
So you're still going to Stat Fitness?
Yeah. Still with Stephanie.
Yeah, that's
it's been 8, 9 years, 10. I can't even remember.
It still breaks my heart that Stephanie had to break up because I was traveling so much. And then what's happened is I'm actually back at the gym, but not that gym because right close to my work, I was going to physio at the Sports Manitoba. I think we talked about this in episode 1.
Yeah.
And the Sports Manitoba built that big new building downtown off of Princess and Main Street. So go north on Main, hang out right on Princess. And it's amazing, a great gym. For the entire year, they're charging, right now, it's $399, and it's unlimited classes included and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice.
And Work's paying $250 towards it. So I'm paying like $11 a month out of pocket or something, and it comes with classes. So it's not personal training per se, but it's 100 hours of instruction. It's in the groups right now, they're thinking of limiting the total enrollment at that gym at 200 people. So there's no more than 5 people in the class. So it's very similar like the group boot camps we used to do.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I first met Eric, was actually through the gym.
Boot camps.
Yeah. And so...
In that cramped little gym, it would be like 10 of us running around.
Yeah. And right now I'm going to classes with 4 and 5 people, and you get basically one-on-one instruction, and it's included in the price. So shout out to Stephanie Relke, is it pronounced? Personal trainer here in Winnipeg, and actually I'll throw a link into her because she's amazing. And actually helped turn me into going in the right direction, and I'm since the day I met her to now, I'm 30 pounds better in the right direction. But
I used to be.
Yeah. I will.
She got me to that level 3 years ago, and it should.
I will throw her a referral. She deserves it. But just because this place is 1 minute from my work, it's been fantastic. So
I definitely recommend Stephanie Rocky. She's literally probably the nicest person I've ever met.
Oh my God, she's insane. Yeah, incredibly good looking, Mike. Incredibly smart when it comes to exercise. Yeah. So motivating. Complete understanding. Able to tailor diet, exercise.
And positive 100% of the time. It's amazing.
It understands real world examples and was finished runner up.
She's also a dietitian. Oh, she was in that
in the Manitoba athletic
body the bikini modeling.
Well, that's what I called it. But no, it was the athletic body associate. Yeah,
not MABA, right?
Yeah, I thought it was, but
that was. Maybe I think they might have had
because they had an athletic competition, which was just it's about so it wasn't muscle building per se. It was about tonality and oh my God! I mean, the people in that show, that was actually, because I gotta be honest, I don't like watching when the chicks go up for the muscle building because I mean, I don't know, it looks like Schwarzenegger in a bikini. But these girls all looked incredible and in crazy good shape. Like they could run your ass off around a gym and you would just goddamn die. So.
The best boot camp I liked was the kickboxing one. Like, what an amazing workout!
I couldn't.
45 minutes, and you just die in the first few times, right? Like you think, I can kick, I can do this.
With your aerobics.
Yeah, it's deadly.
Cardio kills me. I absolutely hate it. So what else has been going on? We've pimped your work and we've pimped your band. Let's dive inside Eric a little bit.
Oh no!
Yes.
I don't know. Pretty much all about work and gym and band and family. And,
I guess being a self-proprietor too.
Hobbies, I suppose, interests. Game of Thrones, astronomy.
Yes.
Jets. I'm a huge Jets fan. Season ticket holder.
Did you see? I know you can't really see my shirt, but
you know what I was just thinking today? Aren't the Starks just basically Canadians?
Like, nobody wants to be the Lannisters. Like,
right, because they're like Americans. Yeah.
That's why I can go for a piss, because I've watched season 1, and then that's as far as I made it.
Oh, okay. So I thought you've been on board with recent stuff.
Yeah. No,
we don't have to talk. Are you?
I'm on.
Oh, you're wearing a shirt. I got a Stark shirt.
He's reading the pirated scripts that come down like the week before the road.
Oh no!
That's not. No.
I'm glad you brought up the Jets, though, because it's something I knew we'd get onto tonight, too. Pass me the beer, by the way.
I'm drinking Cardiff, so given the show's title, I got to step up.
That's right.
Oh, and I can't believe we made it.
I should have brought some fucking Jägermeister.
I can't believe we made it.
I haven't had one of these in a long time.
29 minutes into the show here. So we're going to backtrack here. We did set up, actually, this is third location, technically, because we were upstairs last time, downstairs this time, first episode at your place.
New location every time.
And after episode 2, listeners, there will be a picture posted with this show. Of course, we were heavy into the musing, heavy into the boozing. And, Mike, why don't you inform the folks about the picture they're currently seeing in the show notes as to what happened and why you are, I'll say, looking the way you are right now.
Yes, this was after a session. Yes, an old session. As you get older, I'm just going to say this. Sometimes you have an epiphany. And sometimes you don't.
And sometimes you have an endo.
Sometimes you have an endo, and that makes you realize that maybe you should walk next time.
Yes.
What's an endo?
Well,
what's an endo?
Oh. When you're on your bicycle and you go over the front handlebars?
Oh, yes.
If you'll see, for those of you, obviously...
I had one of those 3 weeks ago.
I saw some brakes on him.
Mike had one after the recording of episode 2 on the way home from here. And currently is sporting a broken collarbone, specifically due to his dedication to musing while boozing.
Now, I actually blame it on the bike because this is actually
technical difficulties.
This is my third break in my life on that same bike that I rode many, many years ago.
Pretty much on the same shoulder.
So I probably should throw that out.
Yeah, you were
the bike.
Yeah.
Well, he was bragging about the quality of it when he drove to my place. And then I get the text message in the morning.
Is it Norco? The original Norco.
I think I broke my shoulder. And I was like, I'm driving to work when I get it and I die. Absolutely losing my mind in the car, just laughing my ass off, sorry. And then, like 5 minutes later, your wife texts me. Says, your moron friend. I'm like, oh, God. She goes, he can't drive it. Because, Eric, you won't know this, but Mike has a history of let's just say
motor vehicle
and non-motor
right?
motor vehicle, non-motor vehicle, anything with wheels.
I'm not meant to drive.
Mike has managed to crash it, and usually in such a way to involve damage to himself, wildlife, possibly other people. There has been a myriad of different issues, and which is great because Mike, where do you work again?
Yeah, MPI?
Manitoba Public Insurance.
I don't know anything about that side. I'm like, I don't know anything about that.
So Mike is in the insurance industry, which is, he's also the insurance biggest customer.
You mentioned Norco. Isn't that a BMX type bike?
Well, Norco originally, but they started for a little while. They're making... what was this back in the...
Shoddy mountain bikes for 20 minutes. I think there's probably... If we do a Google...
Mountain bike BMX is kind of...
Yeah, well, a little bigger. Big BMX are big boys, but I think if we do a recall... there's probably a recall on your bike. Because that thing does not hold up.
I'll tell you this, though. The frame on this thing is amazing. Sturdy and light. Now, not as light as those, $1,000 bikes, but for any $100 to $500 bike that you buy nowadays, it's... miles ahead. It's just ugly as shit now.
Is that one of those ones with those super thick tires?
Yep.
Oh no! But you're probably talking about those, those fatty tires.
Yeah.
Not the fatties.
Yeah, no, that's a fairly new, and you need different forks for that. But I can't imagine that'd be easy to ride on pavement. Like that's got to be exhausting. Yeah, I'm not a big biker. I'm not a big biker, but no, I'm not a biker at all.
Or like Mike broke my leg on a BMX on my 13th birthday with my brand new BMX. Look at me doing wheelies! Crack! There goes my fucking summer. Supposed to go to Disney World with my friend's family. No, I have to stay home on the porch with my leg up, wondering where all my friends were.
Well, I'd love to bring you next week, Eric, to make it back to you, but unfortunately we have no room in the suitcases.
That's okay.
We spent all... I don't think... I'm literally looking at my body here. I've had a ton of surgeries, unfortunately, due to Crohn's, but I don't know if I have broken any significant bone. I've never broken a leg or an arm, shoulder. I've cracked ribs and broken some toes, a lot of toes.
Broke my wrist in the hockey game.
That's
very Canadian.
We
better cheers to that one.
Checked, and I put my arm up like this, and somehow it broke. I could never figure out how he can...
Hockey's
just
dangerous.
got me in the right spot.
Yeah.
I was 14 in Quebec at the time. I'll never forget this because I was in La Chute, Quebec.
You were in La Chute.
Playing house league hockey. And my dad took me to the hospital there in the ER.
Yeah.
Apparently they couldn't handle a fucking broken wrist, so they sent me to Saint Jerome. We're like an hour away. No, maybe half an hour away.
This is an hour away down the road.
By the time I got there, the bone had set. They gave me some drugs and then told me, well, we're going to have to re-break it. The doctor's kind of like, yeah, I'm going to have to re-break it. And then he re-broke it. Like he basically, twisting a fucking rag out of the water and just didn't give me much warning. Yeah, I'm going to have to re-break it. And then he fucking did a good thing, right? It's like, And, that's...
So now, do you remember the drugs he gave you back then? Because nowadays they don't like to give you any of that stuff.
I remember the drugs they gave me when they were casting my leg, and apparently I was quite entertaining to the staff.
Yes, yeah.
Like 13-year-old, first time high, right? Just, well, I'm high, just acting like a fucking clown.
Yeah.
We've talked about drugs a lot on this show, actually. It's really funny.
It is a hot topic nowadays.
A hot topic.
I was catching your discussion on edibles.
Yeah.
Because I did watch the last episode 2.
Well, it's so funny because we are going in continuation.
I saw a special report on CBC exactly what you're talking about, the questionable amounts of THC in edibles, right? There's no way to regulate that because it's hit and miss. There's no way to kind of measure how much is in there.
How much are you going to bite?
You put too much in there, you're fucked. A couple years ago, I was in BC, in Vancouver, and we were visiting some friends, and they ate way too many pot brownies, and they were fucked up.
And there's no way off that. There's no way off that railroad.
Yeah.
No.
I can't remember ever getting high. I think once when I was 17, eating some brownies.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was like, but been so long. So I'm gonna have to try them again.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, if you come to the next episode,
it's a lot different.
It is. It's a very interesting. Well, it's all metabolized through your liver, right? So it actually, instead of a high, it enters through your bloodstream a different area. It's a different way, different speed.
How do you feel? Is that anything like a hallucinogen, like maybe mushrooms? You know that kind of body stone that mushrooms gives you, where you just feel like every nerve is on fire.
Yeah, we have a mushroom story that.
Yeah, but the amount that I took was the perfect amount for me at that time, right? It was
I guess it was
just nice, fuzzy.
It's just a mellow. Because it's a very generalized high is the best way to put it. It's just a very, you just feel like a cloud sort of come over you, and not in a negative way. It's a very, suddenly you're like in a funk. It's like, okay, this is a lot easier.
I hear body stone, and I'm thinking somebody touches you, you're gonna be like, whoa.
No, it's just because it
kind of playing with your own hair.
It literally feels like it's not.
This isn't an E.
It's not.
This isn't an E.
That's what mushrooms is like to me.
We've done too many drugs.
This isn't an E. Sorry.
No, it body because it comes from inside.
A cheaper
your body,
form
right?
of E.
That's always my interpretation of a body stone. Is it comes from inside your body. So.
Right.
So I don't know if that's really what it means, but
I've seen too many people that I've never experienced it, but the body high, I've seen them supposedly hallucinate, and I have never experienced it, but apparently it happens. I just either haven't taken enough, or
THC. You don't get hallucinogenic.
No, you don't. It's not like that.
I think in those cases, I think it's typically a first timer or something like that.
Do you experience the same level of paranoia?
No.
As when you smoke it?
I don't know, because I'll be honest. I mean, talk to him.
Didn't.
Yeah, he's a big smoker. I don't. I've blasted
Was there somebody there who did?
I've blasted through probably no more than a dozen joints in my life, because I have no problems with marijuana as a drug. I'm just anti-smoking in general. But
you can't wait for the edibles.
Yeah, but from an edible side of things, but that's why. Yeah. No, that's what actually we had. We were eating gummies at night, but edibles or even like shrooms, anything you eat, I'm fine. It doesn't bug me psychologically that way. So, but I found it stronger and obviously easier, but just way more, I guess, controlled eating it versus smoking, whatever. Either way, you get enough. Like it seemed to be more, and it seemed to be easier, and it seemed to be just more like a pharmaceutical. Like, hey, now it's happening. Not like I don't know. Maybe it was the quality. Maybe because it is sort of regulated. He's buying it. I don't know. Be interesting. Anyways, I'm going to see my doctor on Tuesday.
He's going to attempt to see what happens.
And I'm now
trying to get a prescription.
I
cut that on.
For our listeners, I'm actually going through the process because I have a legitimate reason. I have pills upstairs that I would love to throw away. And then just go through the entire process as a consumer to see what it's like to do it legally. So at the end of the day, I want to see how many hoops I have to drive through so that in my house I have legally purchased THC imbibed products.
Is that is there effects that help you manage your Crohn's?
Well, a couple things, nausea. But the biggest one is to mitigate the pain, I guess. And I hate always saying pain because I don't want people to think that I'm running around like dying all the time. But it came up on the Thursday. We had the Remicade infusion for the last episode. I was talking to the nurses. I'm 42 years old today, and I was diagnosed 21 years ago. So, and I always brag about my memory, but Eric, I can't remember what it feels like to not feel like this. I don't know what it feels like. So, I do know that even if you're sitting here right now, sitting with some guys, having some beers, and my ab muscles are probably 60% more tense than yours because you're always holding things. Either it's gas or you're scared you're going to shit yourself or whatever. And then you get pain. You just always. I mean, went for like an 8-kilometer walk today with the dog, and came back, and it's just the whole time you're out there, it's like this nagging. Like you forget it's there, and then you really stop and you do a self analysis. Oh yeah, right. No, I got a wicked cramp in the right side. Just I've had it for 20 years. I just sort of forget about it.
Yeah.
You literally, your body, what your body can re-register as normal has blown me away. That's the biggest thing I've learned having this disease because it's so much better than what other people have. Like you can have. I mean, I've stopped complaining a long time ago. I spend more time explaining what it's like. Then I never go to someone and say, "Oh yeah, no, I can't," because I'll do anything. It doesn't affect my life in terms of stopping me from doing things. You just reset normal. If normal was an arbitrary scale of 50. Now for me it's 70. And those numbers mean nothing, but just sort of you sort of level set. Sort of like they did in Die Hard 2 when they reset the ground level and the plane crashed into the ground and everybody died. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but
I remember that.
Remember, it was the airport, it was the snow, the terrorists were coming down, and the guy hijacked the CB system and pretended he was the tower and said, "Go ahead, land." And through some stupid IT thing, you see, he takes a pen and tells them that the ground level is no longer at 0, it's at 300 meters, so the plane's coming down, flying blind, thinking it's going to land, and suddenly the land's right there, and it was the biggest death on film at that point. Up until that day, 237 people died on that airliner. Why do I remember this? Again, because I'm proud of my memory.
Yes.
But yeah, I do remember that movie came out. It was the most deaths ever on a film. There was this big controversy. Can we show it to kids? And we were like 15, 16 or something when that movie came out.
That's just before the body count started happening?
Well, they were like, oh,
body count.
You can't show that many people dying on a movie. My God, that's incredible. And it's not a natural disaster. It's, we're going to wake up and blow people up or something. I'm not sure. So...
Product plug, Sleeman's Honey Brown.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Mike.
This is way more refreshing than I remember.
Yeah, it is good.
It is good. I remember it being a nuttier, darker. This is just light and refreshing.
It is.
You know what? Probably was before, because you know what? These guys are no longer a microbrewery. They are now considered
Did
macro.
Sleeman's get bought?
They did.
Or did they just grow?
They grew as well.
Honestly,
right?
I can't...
They've done both. They grew.
A label on them?
Not
for a while.
No, I don't think so. But these guys, they were small time, and they're big time now. So you see more of a generic flavor. It's still a good honey brown beer.
I have no idea.
I like it better. If you're a real homebrew kind of guy, you probably won't like it as much as what it used to be. But
well, for Eric, I know you do appreciate a heavier beer.
Well, the other thing I'm known for, I guess, is the whiskey shit, right?
Well, yes.
That's my hobby.
Mm-hmm. All right, for the next one.
For those playing the home game, I run the Whiskey Snug, which is like a booth, every year during Folklorama at the United Kingdom Pavilion. My kids dance at McConnell School dance, and us, the parents and the dancers, being volunteers and performers, put together everything at the UK Pavilion, and I usually sit and sell whiskey.
And there was a period in my life. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead. Yeah.
So this is like what kind of whiskey? Like, is it
Scotch and whiskey from the Four Kingdoms, basically.
Yes.
So we even have Welsh whiskey. We have one kind of English whiskey, Chapter 6, from the Old Whiskey Company, Old English Whiskey Company, and several brands of Scotch from Scotland, and of course Irish whiskey.
I'm surprised you don't actually like a nuttier beer, like with...
I always forget this beer's name, the nuttiest beer possible. It's a brown one. It's from Europe. I think it's from England.
Guinness?
No,
Newcastle.
Yes, Newcastle.
Newcastle, yeah.
Guinness
that
is my
does.
favorite beer.
Yeah.
And then probably Boddington's or Sleeman's. Not Sleeman's, Boddington's and Kilkenny. I like those creamy, thicker beers.
That, yeah.
I don't like stouts.
No.
Guinness is a stout, but it's the creamiest.
I think I just gave you a stout. I apologize. Fort Garry stout. Good luck with that.
I used to fucking drink nothing but Fort Garry Dark in the 90s.
Again, microbrewery.
That was the first.
Yeah,
and that was almost the first real beer that hit Winnipeg.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
That was the first different beer. Yeah,
solid.
Because
there was basically like Molson's
and 4 or 5 of those.
Yeah,
Iron Gut.
Yeah,
but now they're big, and I don't drink them anymore. I just don't.
I haven't had one in a long time. I don't think I would like it anymore.
No,
it actually wasn't. It didn't taste very good.
The one I gave you there is
it was
the first.
Pints. It's like oil.
Well, that's one the half pints with the coffee in it, right? Because I drank one the other day, and then actually I used
that's a weird taste.
Yeah, it is. It's got a different one. It's got a coffee and a chocolate overtones to that beer there. So I had
sounds good in theory, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, you'll have one, and we'll split the other one, and we'll down them.
Those flavors are good in wine. I find better. Like a Pocket Dark is my go-to wine because it's got the dark chocolate coffee type. And dark berries.
I'll be the first to admit, I made 16 attempts to get into wine. I like rum and whiskey and practically every other hard alcohol better. And then I've refound a new appreciation for beer. I can't do wine. I also think wine just doesn't agree with my system.
There's nothing worse than a 1 bottle of red hangover headache.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a drill in your fucking brain.
And that's before you've passed out.
Yeah. What's weird is now with old age, I can't have more than 2 beers or 3 beers. I feel bloated and sick. I pee like 4 times every fucking beer. That's why I love whiskey. You get drunk faster. It's pure alcohol.
Yeah. First door to the right there.
But now I get my hangovers before I go to sleep. I would go to bed fine. I would be like, technically I'm probably pretty drunk, but I feel okay and in control. Then within a half an hour, I start to feel really fucking drunk. And then I start to feel like I want to throw up.
Yeah.
And then I get the hangover.
Yeah, and
before I sleep.
You're doing it right.
This has changed. This is a complete 180.
Yeah.
In the past, I would wake up with the hangover.
Yeah, no, it's a little different now. It's getting old sucks.
Yeah, I know.
It's been kicking our ass all every which way.
I'll tell you this though. So I started out brewing wine with Carl here.
Yeah.
Various types: Kool-Aid, onion, ginger.
Brewing.
Oh, jeez.
Onion and what?
Oh yeah. There's some weird green Kool-Aid, onion. Oh yeah.
You need sugar, right? So we the grossest one we did was that Kool-Aid wine.
Oh yeah, green Kool-Aid.
We thought, we made Kool-Aid. We're like, because we were reading the instructions, like, hey, you add any sugar? Oh well, let's just make it a wine. We're thinking we're going to make wine that tastes like Kool-Aid. We're 20 years old. Yeah, needless to say, what came out of that carboy was an unholy, spirited mess. And then we ended up using.
We tried making Jello shoes.
Yes, we made electric Jello out of our Jello made wine, and it was. I know it was all whipped cream that night we were eating them. It was we finished it,
good.
but
it was not good. Whipped cream.
I can't recommend in good faith anybody ever do that. Oh, and if you have to take a piss, we don't hit pause. So it's like I said, it's the room right there. If something does come up,
I'm not breaking the seal yet.
Okay, good job.
So anyways, I started with that, and now I've been brewing beer for since then, which is 20-some years.
Yeah, there was a bit of a break there for a bit.
There was a bit of a break, but so I make it right from the grains and
he makes.
I don't cook the grains; they're already processed. But
you have roasted malt, but you go from that, right?
Yeah, I take it a step further than just pouring in the ingredients, right? I have to cook it and hops and all that stuff.
Sometimes you add too many hops.
I've learned. I've had a lot of experiments.
So you only buy the bare essentials from the kit store, so to speak.
He's
do everything else.
He's pre-kit. He'll buy bags
so
of
hops
grain.
are the actual flour of hops, and you can get it in different forms, but the flour is the best. The grains are already cooked so that the hull is split open, so you can do you can extract the sugars for the alcohol, the flavors, all that stuff. It's quite the science. You can you know what it is you can make beer as simple as you want. I just put this shit in here, and it's amazing taste. If I do this again, I can do it roughly the same. Or you can be really complicated, and Jesus. I still remember talking to the brewer or the brewmaster of Half Pints, and he had a microbiology degree. So I asked him, do you really need this?
Specific.
Oh yeah. I said, do you really need this? He's like, for this kind of production, even up to for any kind of microbrewery. He said, no. Once you start getting macro, like more than what do they have?
Beer.
8 huge. I can't remember the size of these things. 8 huge canisters of beer at all times going through. He said, anything much bigger than that, you really got to start worrying about how the organisms interact with it, everything, enzymes and. All
lawyer-driven science.
Yes.
They actually reset up now. If you go to a couple of places now where they actually have, you can even go there and brew your beer, and you can do as little or as much as you want, your beer and your wine, where you store your carboy there, you do all the filtration there, you use their equipment, and so they're to be able to upcharge you from the kits, charge you a little bit more, and a little bit. Again, it's add-on sales, right? So these guys have built a conditioning room. This is one on Ellis. I stopped there to get some citric acid for Gracie to make some type of candy thing, and she used citric acid powdered form. Where the hell do you get that? I found it. Apparently, use it for wine. You can increase the acidity of wine using this stuff. So, long story short, I went there and he showed me the brewing room, and it's like, he has 80 carboys in there of people's wine and beer that he keeps in the regulated temperature, and they use his equipment to process it and filter it and bottle it and stuff, and he'll even do some of it for you if you can't make it down there. But it's their upsell. So instead of selling you the kit, it's more expensive than the kit, but less expensive than buying wine, and it's his upcharge. So he does some work for you and lets you use their.
Yeah, that's a big industry right now.
Yeah.
I actually buy my stuff from. There's only one guy who I can really get grain from in Manitoba. It's Scotty's on Osborne.
Shout out to Scotty's Grains.
Yeah, Scotty's Grains, Grape and Grain. This is his store across the street, which is the Games and Nights. I don't really know much about that.
I've been.
Yeah, same guy. He owns both things, right?
Get drunk and play games.
Well, it used to be. Actually, it's funny because years ago it used to be. All the guys would be playing their games on the main floor, and we'd have to go down to the pit of a base. It was an old building, so it looked like you're walking down in some kind of castle, and there's a dungeon.
Yeah, those basements on Osborne are all.
Yeah. I thought it was quite awesome, actually. But
did you ever go to the crypt?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we were there. I was there.
Wasn't that something else? Wasn't that Wellington's? Or no, wait, no.
I'm talking the Osborne in the village. You go down in the basement, and that's the one that had what the hell do you want to call it? The cover charge that was dependent, and this was probably open in 1994. This was the year we would have went. The cover charge was dependent upon the amount of clothes you were wearing, starting at $20 and going down. And we were there on a Friday night with a bunch of guys from Residency University, and I was wearing like a Japanese kimono robe and my boxers or whatever, right? And a lot of guys were. A lot of us, we showed up in our bathrobes. I think they were charging us $5 again. And then we're like, what do you got to be, like, free? And he pointed across the room, and there was a couple of girls there, and a guy. There was 3 of them. And they had sprayed their naked bodies with whipped cream and then wrapped themselves in saran wrap.
How do you pee when you got
How
that
do you
on?
pee? And it's going to melt, and you're going to be sticky. Again, it was 94, and they were probably cracked out on E.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so we're looking at, okay, I know we're good with $5. It was a different...
You need somewhere to put your fucking money.
That's back in the days of, like
your smokes.
D-Machine. And
That I've been in.
Yeah,
Or
that's
the
where that guy
alternative
died in the
cabaret.
wall, right?
Yeah. Well, D-Machine was the alternative cabaret, but I think after the alternative cabaret, right?
Then it became
Or is it downstairs, the alternative cabaret was upstairs?
I think, that one... Well, D-Machine...
Wasn't the alternative cabaret upstairs?
Yeah, downstairs. Trying to remember, because I was there twice with my brother, and then that was where my only claim to fame, remember, is that it was stinking. They found that kid that was cracked out on E and crawled to the walls and died, and his body was decomposing in there. We had to call Manitoba's version of CSI to go dig that shit out. That would have been a fucking disaster.
That's a famous story.
Yeah, well, there was a couple of them. We were. I was in Monty's the night that the kid.
Monty's.
I was in Monty's the night on Pembina. The kid took the dip in the river that caused the drink prices to go up.
Right.
Yeah,
the
I was there.
Price.
That was 1995.
Wasn't he drinking across the street up by the? I thought that was up by the.
There, he came in whatever the brew place up north.
No, up by Jubilee.
Yeah, Jubilee, the one on the west side, the old pub place. Yeah. Then they came down to Monty's. He came in. They served him. He bought a couple of triples for $3.75.
Cambridge, across from the Cambridge.
Yeah, and then what the hell's the name of that place? They have said on Pembina. The name of the
Monty's.
No, the north, the one where they have the beer. No, the up by Jubilee.
The Palladium.
Where they used to have the...
Wow.
That's an old,
It has like 15 rooms in it. You sort of get lost when you walk around. It was the one up by Jubilee.
Isn't it called the Pembina? The Pembina? The Pemby?
Pemby, yeah.
I guess it was Pemby, yeah.
And across the way...
Yeah, apparently the kid started there, came down to Monty's, and then got overserved, stepped outside and went for some of the river.
In the middle of winter.
Yeah, and then I felt like I could
walk it was Tyson Gory's brother.
But something needed to be done.
That's right.
The drink prices were so low at some point. I'll never forget the Circuit Cabaret on where Teasers is, or next door to Teasers. Yeah. Maybe it was Teasers.
Yeah.
They used to have 25-cent beer nights.
Yeah.
Same with the...
we used to have 15-cent...
The Metro on Notre Dame, or McPhillips.
We had 15-cent draft at that place we lived for. Scandals.
Georgie's in the late 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Monday night draft nights were, for those of you who went to Sturgeon or went to Georgie's in the late 80s, the infamous Monday night draft nights were from 7:30 to 8. Draft was 5 cents a glass, and then it went up to a quarter a glass, I think. And there was a wheel that would be spun. And we would show up. Me and my friends, we had a fucking tradition. We would watch The Simpsons and what was that show that used to precede The Simpsons in the late 80s? It was like a Ferris Bueller
TV
show. That kid wore the
milk in the middle.
No. Give me a second.
And
he had the big guy from ER.
Fish.
Yeah.
Was it Fish?
It was Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
That's it.
Yes.
We were fucking watching The Simpsons. Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Then we're like, fuck, we got to go to Georgie's to get the table before they run out of fucking pitchers.
Yeah.
And there was people used to get so fucking wasted there. I would see girls getting fucked outside.
So
against
how old
the
are you
wall.
then?
Oh yeah,
How
I
old
do
are you?
remember that too.
47.
Yeah.
47. Okay, we're 42.
Yeah. So the late '80s bar scene, I was all over that.
See, because Georgie's was the very first. We drove in. We were 15. We drove in from Portage to Winnipeg. There was 4 of us: me, you, Scott Sissons, and Jeff Morris.
Yeah.
All
of us
Morrison?
No, Jeff Morris.
Yeah.
Now, and it's so funny. This has been bugging me for 3 weeks because it came up on a Facebook forum. I can't remember what was the name of that bar at the corner. It wasn't Times, but the corner of Portage and Hargrave. It was where Hat Tricks was.
North side of Portage?
Yeah, it was a Coke bar. It was
the Village Inn?
No. North side of Portage.
Village.
You had to wear a suit to get in. It was the very first bar to throw a suit on, and they had
sort of like where Porter's Place was, maybe just west of that.
Just west of it.
Yeah.
You know, right.
It was,
right
it was
across,
something like Times Change.
right
Times?
across from the MTS Center. Well, for very briefly, it had a different name in the year 1991.
I know what you're talking about.
We showed up.
Pyramid, what was it? Yeah.
It was bugging me the other day. Someone mentioned on Facebook. I could not remember.
It was fancy. They tried to be fancy.
Yes,
they tried to be.
did.
I think it lasted just that summer, and then that was the summer. So we were old enough we were beefy enough to try. It would be pre-photo ID. So we drive into Winnipeg. We stop at Georgie's, the very first bar in Winnipeg I was ever in. We get in, 2 of us. These 2 didn't. They drank in the car. We got out of there. An hour later, we drove down. We went into that bar. There was steel cages to dance on the speakers. It looked very much like the set of Basic Instinct, like glass, stainless steel, like proto-early 90s bar. And then we drove down and we all got into Monty's. And that would have been 1991.
I can't believe I can't find this.
No, it was like a one name, like the Zoo or something like that. Anyways, we went there. I think it was the same, where they just rebranded and it was dying because they put a dress code on and people stopped going in. But yeah, we went there, and Georgie's was the very first. We wanted to buy those shirts and wear them in gym class the next day because we were still.
I still don't have. I worked there too, and I never got a fucking shirt.
You produced a newsletter there.
Yeah, how you know that?
Yes. Yeah, you and I talked about it one time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Georgie's Grapevine.
Yeah, I was subscribed to that.
I only did four newsletters. But it's one of these things. I used to work I was a barback, but I also worked the till and the vendor.
Right.
And during the week, it would just be dead. So when I was going to university, I would either be studying or I would just be fucking, let me write something. Right. Do a bunch of inside jokes and let's come up with a fake newsletter for like a company newsletter.
I love it.
It just started satire. It's all satire, making fun of people. I even had the balls to make fun of the boss. And he loved it.
Yeah, of course.
And I never would have thought it, because he never talked to anybody. He just looked like, he would walk by my buddy doing a Darth Vader theme, because he'd be streaming in with his fucking leather jacket looking pissed off all the time. But it became, one day I printed it out, make like 5 copies, put it behind the bar, and like, yeah, we're busy, fuck. I come back the next day, everybody's fucking talking about it. So then I just expanded. It kept getting bigger and bigger. I got guest authors, and the manager let me use the bar money to go across the street and make print copies of it.
Sounds like our podcast.
Becoming a little bit
growing.
Yeah, it was famous for a while.
Back then, that's big. Giving you money to go get printed copies.
Yeah, shit, right on. $15, I could print 20 copies in full color. Nobody had a color printer back then.
No.
To your definition, that's professional.
Yeah.
You're a published author.
Well, I am a published author.
Well, yes, you are many times.
Well, just once.
The Pyramid. Was that the name?
No, that's
the Spectrum back then.
No.
Okay. Google,
that was
Google. You have failed me.
I think it was something like Times.
Well, it was Times for forever, but I think they changed it from Times
from something else
or they went to Times, but
was it something Cabaret?
No, that's a Pyramid Cabaret. No, I don't know.
I thought it was like
the day it hits me, it'll be there.
Yeah.
But
this was live. We could ask our Facebook friends to help us out.
Yes.
That's
Well, I mean, hey, if anybody knows, you could certainly add it to the comments. And while you're commenting, please be not afraid to throw us a review on iTunes. I think we only have 1 review on iTunes, and it might be mine.
Hey, look, the band just posted something.
But we would love.
I would love to hear the answer to this. So Send us a list of old.
I see you
bar
on
names.
Google. I was on there one night trying to figure it out because, my God, we went to that bar. Throwback, Scott Sissons. If someone can get this to Scott Sissons and get him to listen to this podcast, maybe he can remember the hell it was called, because I cannot locate that guy. He is not on Facebook. Guy I went to high school with. I don't know where he is. I think he married some chick. And
one of those people who aren't on Facebook.
Yeah, there's like
What
6
is
of
up
them.
with those people?
I don't know.
So here, what was that bar they just moved? The old, and now this is probably out of your league, country bar.
No, he's talking about the Palomino.
The Palomino.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Have you ever gone there?
A few times, not a lot.
Just to see?
Yeah.
There was a period in my life, 1999. No, later than that. So when I started Home Depot, 2002 through 2006, just because that was where Home Depot went. That I was there a lot, like 15 times a year. And
I was maybe there 15 times.
yeah, no, it was interesting. I don't know, like any other bar. I mean, it is what it is. You do like the crowd, but then drinks were expensive. So
so here's the thing: being from Portage la Prairie, it was a weird combination. We liked country and metal.
yeah.
Now most people didn't.
Well, maybe not metal.
Yeah,
hard rock.
Yes, yeah.
Classic
now most people didn't really like the.
We almost got kicked out because we were moshing one night. We went there on like a Monday night. There was karaoke, and there was like maybe us and like 4 other people and an RCMP undercover officer I knew who, once he saw me, he bolted. And we were doing a mosh pit of ourselves, and the fucking security just was having none of it.
Oh yeah.
When you were playing, or just
No, we just went in to do karaoke, and we started moshing. One of us was singing Enter Sandman or something.
I've seen
We
that
didn't like that.
the Thirsty Lion started karaoke on Sundays.
Yeah.
I want to go check it out.
That place is odd. I don't know. What's the crowd like these days? Because I haven't been there.
It's
One time I came, my buddy
so
was in town. Like, let's go to Thirsty Lion. Kind of opened up, and we went there for like 7. We had some beers and wings. 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock rolled around. All of a sudden, they're pulling all the tables out. Boom! All these fucking 19-year-olds show up.
Yeah.
We could not talk at all. Holy shit! I guess this is not our crowd.
That's changed, and I think, and I don't think for them for the better, but that they found somewhere else to go, or maybe honestly,
no, school's out. That's all.
No, but you know what? I don't think 19-year-olds go out anymore.
Well,
they don't go to Boston Pizza now.
Yeah, that's why they're opening that one on.
Example.
No, actually,
did you know they're opening that?
I'm happy about that.
Do you know why they're opening that?
Boston Pizza is my least favorite.
Portage location is up.
It's up in order to renew. They're renewing the one.
It will be up this year.
But okay,
you heard they're renewing the Portage lease?
Because what happened was that their lease is based on volume.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Both were staying open.
Well, I heard that, and this is from employees.
Yeah,
because we go there a lot. They don't own they don't own that building.
Nope.
They're one of the few Boston Pizzas in the country that don't own that building because it's part of that mall.
Yeah. So what happens is they're based on volume. So Boston Pizza said we open another location to cannibalize the volume, because they're busy there. Like that one is very busy. Yeah. They want to lower the volume there, but still grow it overall.
I thought they were going to move. They're going to keep the Portage one.
That's what I thought.
The real estate agent told me that they're keeping it and opening up to just cannibalize themselves, but grow both locations. They want to eventually go this one back to where it was, but then get the same thing over across the street. So, I don't know.
One of the employees also said that they are coming up with a new theme for the restaurants, and the one in Charleswood might be a pilot.
Yeah.
Or one of the first ones with the new theme or whatever.
But they're both going to be under the same
sports lounge, more.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
They're both going to
maybe.
They're both going to see the same corporate umbrella. So yeah, my understanding is
they're same family.
Yeah, they're going. Yes, and because he wasn't thrilled about opening the second one, and Boston Pizza said, if you don't open it, we will, and we'll find someone else. So he is. So they're opening it. So it'll be curious. I mean, this is again, he said, she said, but this is what I heard through because I was talking with the leasing agent, because we are right next door to Boston Pizza.
Right.
Yeah, H&R Block, and that's where I heard it from. So really interesting to see how that all plays out. I know my 14-year-old son goes to school right beside it there at Old Charleswood, and he is that's where he wants to get his first job. He is jacked that Boston Pizza's up in there.
I know we, especially us, our son's older now. He's 18, pretty much no longer a kid.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's still a kid. But
wow, these days I think kids are kids till they're 26.
Yeah, but I do know that the last few times we've gone to the Boston Pizza on Kenniston, it's sports teams. They're excited. It's loud. Yeah. When you get older, it kind of You don't want to hear that. Like you say, you want to be in a lounge. You want to be. It's more of a bar atmosphere, right? Whether it's younger kids or
so the older guys in the sports teams, they're getting rowdy.
I find it's younger ones.
Yeah, there are some
and they're excited,
there.
right? They're excited.
But back to your original,
the older ones, I don't really, I don't hear a lot from them.
Like shit, we were there on Thursday. We shut down the bar. Of course, it was a Thursday night. It was summer. We shut down that bar on Thursday there before your pre-accident, or I think we almost shut it down. We were the last ones. Seemed to be. I don't remember the people there.
And there was 2 hours earlier.
There was no young people there, and there hasn't been for a while. Now I can't speak to a Saturday.
Fishbowl Fridays apparently are quite.
I think Friday's their day, right?
Yeah.
Went in at the odd time, but
yeah.
Again, I do remember when it was like that for a period, but I haven't seen a crowd in there for a while. So
I think it's weird. My kid, they're more into the smoking and not even smoking, right? The vaping is what it is, right? They're not really into drinking. They have shots here and there, and okay, we're done. Let's go smoke some reefer.
Well, apparently, millennials
that seems to be their thing. Right?
Are drinking less than we did, having less sex than we did.
Well, you'd like to believe that, but
well, no, I guess. But you know what? So then
we're trying to make ourselves feel better, or what?
No, I may feel better. I know, but I think it also has something to do with technology, right? Like, I mean, shit. I mean, especially Eric, and even to us to a point. But like when you were a 16-year-old kid and you wanted access to porn, what did you have to do?
Magazine or nothing.
Yeah, dumpster diving, right?
Dumpster diving.
I think I bought one tape once.
Yeah, exactly, right. And now
I used to be what was it? Sunday nights at the you'd go and they'd rip the cover off, throw it in the. This is what we used to do. I hate to say we were
Hotlets and Portage. Shout out to Hotlets and Midtown Market.
Midtown Market.
But the same thing. Like it's different. And now I can't imagine. I mean, we're sitting right here. So we're dealing. Sorry, he's not 14. He's 13. So he's just hitting that stride, right? And I can't imagine, growing up at 13 where everything is literally at your fingertips.
I remember when we were
Cass is 7 inches deep, but in all seriousness, though, but what it's doing to these kids is that because honestly, I mean, it was almost
take the mystery away. They don't feel like doing.
Well, the mystery, and I think the effort and the need. I mean, we had nothing else to work with.
Schools for talking too much?
No, I'm talking about the fact that access to information. If you wanted to get off in high school when we were in your age, it was almost easier to get laid than it was to find porn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
And now you can be 16, shut your bedroom door, and see shit that we couldn't have imagined. And it's a one-off, but I think you put that over a broad enough scale. So statistically speaking, it's not a small percentage. Apparently, kids 19 to 23, it's the least amount of sex since they've ever started registering kids 19 to 23. And I thought, that's just fucked up. And then I started thinking through it. I'm like, I can sort of almost believe it because they don't go out anymore. They never leave their house. Like, less compared to you. Again, when you were 19, you want to see someone, that way you were still pre-cell phone, right? You had to...
Well, strip bars, I guess, was the real option. Right?
Yeah, strip balls. Or you wanted to go meet someone, you actually had to leave your house. You couldn't, instant message them. You had to... you had a 45-minute conversation.
Yeah, we survived without phones.
Yeah.
Cell phones.
Yeah, and now...
without computers.
Yeah, we made do.
Believe me, I wanted when I was ready. I was hardwired for computers. Well, I learned how to program when I was 12 on a VIC-20. Man.
Yeah, I had a Commodore...
VIC-20, man.
I wanted
a
Commodore 64. I mean, my friends had the Commodore 64.
I had the Commodore 64. I had the Commodore 64. The year it came out... when they sold 64 million units across North America. We were one of them. Got it at Canadian Tire. My dad bought it.
And they're selling at Canadian Tire.
They had a huge computer section back then at Canadian Tire.
I remember it took me probably, back then, probably 3 days to program the Pong game on VIC-20.
I had that programming module or whatever it was. It came with a memory expansion. I think it was 3.5K kilobytes memory expansion. But it came with a duotang that had a basic programming manual with one of those templates for flowcharts kind of thing. Yeah, I studied the fuck out of that thing. It taught me the foundations of programming.
Really?
When I was 12 years old. I took to that. Yeah, and I was learning how to draw circles and those and if-then evaluations all over the place, like for constructing like a story, and you have random words in the midst of sentences. And I was ready to go. By the time I took my first programming course to get my Microsoft Certified Solutions Developer certification, I did a week of VB.NET training. Or actually, no, it was VB6 at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, this is all flashing back to 1982 when I learned how to program in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I was ready to go. I was fucking acing everything in the first week.
I did find that with VB in the original days. Now .NET is quite a bit. Is it quite a bit different? Is it
Then VB6?
Yeah.
Well, I had to learn C# and make the switch.
Yeah.
And now I'm all C#.
Yeah.
But it's a hell of a lot easier because the tools are a lot better.
They're supposed to be, yeah. Like
They've
although
automated
I
so much
haven't really
of the scripting now, right? Like it's
like what's the object oriented? Did that ever come to?
Well, that's
fruition,
basically the foundation of all .NET.
Okay.
Most programming languages, right? It's all.
That's the last I really started doing.
The .NET framework is one gigantic object model,
yeah.
and you're just learning how to use the classes and the methods and the properties of everything, or build your own.
Yeah.
I used to steal books. Sorry, Mom. From Cole's bookstore on how to program in BASIC for my Com64, and that's what I started with. I was sitting there and rewriting the code and
you stole coding books. I stole Garfield.
Yeah, oh no, please, yeah, no. This is we buy for the guests. So those who want to go on the show, it is not BYOB. We make sure we supply.
We don't bring scotch.
We do not.
It's very unfortunate.
I think I ruined everything.
I've been drinking. We were watching a football game today, so not a sports guy, but I do like to see people get hit.
Did you get the final score? I didn't watch.
The Bombers lost.
Yeah, the Bombers lost.
I caught. Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the score and disassociate ourselves from the Bomber fans, right?
Oh no, I'm fine. I bet on Saskatchewan. I'm in a CFL pool with my brother-in-law, and all you do is you pick the winner and the spread every week. And the Bombers on a huge winning streak. I said, "There's no way to win this game." So I picked Saskatchewan by 7. I don't know that they won by. I assume it wasn't exactly by 7, but you just had to get points for getting the selection right, and then there's bonus points for the spread. So
the Riders couldn't miss a throw. It was unreal.
Good for them.
Which is not you. Hold on.
How's your shoulder doing? You need some pills?
Hold on there. I got to work this in.
There's awesome. Again, our first casualty at Musing Without Boozing was our co-host going over the handlebars of his bike.
Okay, it's all right now. A little bit of bone rubbage there. That's good times.
Speaking of sports, you were about to break into something about the Jets, and then we went off.
Oh, well, that's what happens on this show. Sometimes we had 15 topics written down last time. We covered 2 of them. Well, just because I was reading the on the Winnipeg Sun today, I just saw the cover page, and I was at Sorrento's picking up a salad for the wife and I. And
the old Sorrento salad.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, is that good? Yes.
We
Grease and ham.
We go with.
But okay, before you get into it, I just want to say I'm a little worried about Sorrento's now with that Boston Pizza.
Apparently, they found a new location again through Boston Pizza employee rumors.
Yeah. Is Sorrento's moving?
Yeah.
Hell no,
that's the first thing I heard. Oh, Sorrento's is fucked.
Yeah. That's a classic place for them, though. Like,
I wonder if they're moving down just this way.
I don't like the pizza, but that salad is.
Yeah, I like all
it's so simple yet it's so good.
I wonder if they're going to move farther this way.
I don't know where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Is that? Do you remember that restaurant, Cosmos? Now, or is it East Indian place now?
No, it closed after that.
Cosmos. That's Taverna Rodos now.
Yeah.
Or
Taverna Rodos, which moved from down here.
Yes.
Those guys have skipped on their rent 3 times.
Charleston needs a fucking burger place.
Yes.
Like George's Burgers and Subs. I'm always going to the one in Ness.
Yeah.
We need a place like that in Charleston.
We do.
There's nothing.
I know.
I mean, the Boulevard Burger is amazing, but I don't.
Yeah, we've been there too.
Their fries suck.
I honestly, it's so funny. It's right around the corner. We've never been.
I've been wanting to go there, just bring my laptop and show up late at night and order some scotch and get some nappies and work. I've fucking never done it.
Yeah. Maybe we should talk to them. We could do an episode there.
I used to love going there. I used to love it at Cosmos because it was, you know what I like?
They had a good brunch.
Yeah.
I like a clean place, but I like them to pretend that they're a dark, dank pit. But I want a clean glass.
Mo, the dank.
I like the dark, dank.
Remember when Mo turned his place into a nice, classy disco?
That's not really me. I'm not into that kind of. I like,
I believe,
but I want to know that.
I think Wendy's water broke at the Cosmos with her first child.
Oh.
Yeah, they were sitting there having wings. Wendy?
No, she doesn't want to listen to you right now.
I used to love their chicken fettuccine.
Yeah. No, I know when my ex was working at the Royal Bank on Roblin, near the end, their paychecks were bouncing a lot, obviously.
That's my corporate branch.
Yeah, that's
nice,
where
nice old ladies.
Yeah, the people were coming in, casting their Cosmo paychecks, and they weren't going through.
That place is going to close at some point, I'm sure.
I don't understand. Like it's a nice location, right? Like There's a little bit of parking there, enough for...
There's no parking there now since that restaurant took.
Yeah.
They're bitching about the parking problems in there.
Okay, then that's the killer, right? It's just like we used to have this place on. We were on Belvedere in St. James, off of Portage Avenue.
Oh yeah.
There used to be a church there. Oh, we got to get this opened up for business. Well, they ripped that down. Christ, 15 years ago. There's still nothing there.
Yeah, you got married. We used to live on that street. You got married in the church there.
Yeah. Last marriage.
Bank on Portage.
No, Portage and Belvedere. You know where the
old Blockbuster.
There's the running room there. There was a Blockbuster, which is now a
Sergeant Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
it's a block down.
Sergeant Sunday's one block east.
Right, east.
Yeah, and if you start walking west, there's the running room there. There's a we used to be an old bookstore. There was a consignment store, and then there was a church, and then there was a Blockbuster, and then there's Deer Lodge Center.
Yeah, I like St. James. Nice neighborhood. Just I can't get a big enough house over there. Is really what it is, right? Yeah. Although 1,000 square foot house is nice, it's just
your kid's old enough.
Yeah, I'll be moving there soon enough again.
I got move houses, Quail Ridge.
Yeah.
Gotta move over here. So much easier. We no more crashing. You just walk. Then we can walk to the bar.
Jets.
Yes,
Jets. Back to Jets, yes.
Well, I mean, because my topic...
Try 3.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. It's fine. Topics come and go.
We're talking about the Hutchinson having Kropyowski in his mask? That wasn't today's paper.
No, that wasn't today's paper. That was yesterday. Because Wendy talked about that yesterday.
Is that yesterday?
Must have been yesterday.
My papers up for it.
No, it was... oh, shit. I don't remember. One of the players just saying playoffs or bust.
Oh, Perot.
Yeah, Perot. Playoffs or bust. Yeah. Which is really... I can't believe he's still on the team.
I'm glad he is.
Me too. No. I just can't believe his contract was so attractive for trading purposes. I can't believe he's still on the team. You could get that production for $4 million. I thought the Jets would have traded him for either assets or loading up or whatever, but...
I think they're smart to keep him.
Yeah, no, I think...
Yeah. I'm surprised now that they're wrapping up the stories for the preseason. Mm-hmm. I forgot about Kulikov. I forgot about... Matthew... What's his name? The new guy that they just signed. The Edmonton... Hendricks.
Hendricks, yeah.
That's going to be... they need that penalty killing face-off winner.
Well,
everything's coming together nicely. Of course, we thought that last year.
Yeah. So who's going to be our fourth line? Is Kopp still going to center it? Please say yes, because I want to get my name.
Fourth line is a bunch of question marks, isn't it?
Well, because that's well, I mean, you got last year Kopp centered it. Sometimes he played wing up higher. But you have him. You have
we're Thorburn. Sad to say.
No, he's
damn it. Hendricks apparently is the Thorburn replacement, right?
Ish.
He can scrap, and he's the locker room vocal presence that Thorburn was.
But he can actually skate too. And that was Thorburns' biggest downfall, is the guy who had heavy mitts and had some nice hands.
Scorburn.
Yeah, he just couldn't skate. He had to be randomly in the right place at the right time. So
we need a new visible headbanger on the team.
Yeah. So are we making the playoffs this year or not? We'll put on record.
We better fucking make the playoffs.
So
we need to.
Every time I have this question, it comes up.
The Central is weaker.
Right. Yeah. But then who are we beating? So, Eric, we're going to put you on the spot because we'll revisit this in 10 months. Who is your Central rankings? Who's going to finish first in the Central?
Holy shit, I'm not prepared for this.
Neither am I. Let's go to the top of my head.
But Dallas apparently is going to do better, but I think their goaltending and their defense is very questionable.
No, they made a big move for goaltending this year. They signed Bishop.
That's right.
Yeah.
Chicago's on, I think
Chicago's on the downside.
Sure. We're going to eat Chicago.
Yeah.
St. Louis, I think we can take.
Yeah.
And I think that's enough for us. To steal points away from Chicago and St. Louis, I think is going to get us over the hump.
I hope so, because I think we're going to be fighting for that third, fourth spot. I honestly think Dallas is going to be has the potential. So I'll go on record saying I think they're going to be right in the fighting for first and essential, and they're going to be a matter because they could always score. They could always score. It's just a matter of if they can stop the puck. And if Bishop does half of what they're paying him for to do, they would have had 16, 17 more points last year. They'd be right up there. So it's just that incremental change. So who's our starting goalie game one?
Well, they got to go with the new guy, right?
Mason?
Yeah.
Got to. I think so.
They can't repeat their fuck-ups last year with the goaltending position. Who the hell's the starter?
Yeah, well,
Go with the
on
guy
any
who
given
signed
day,
him to
right?
start, make him start.
I would love to see. I hope this records play out that Mason plays 50. What's his nuts plays 30.
What's his nuts?
Yeah,
Like,
he's already been relegated to what's his nuts.
Hellebuck.
Yeah, if Hellebuck can play 30, Mason plays 50, and they each have like a 66% winning percentage, I'd be like through the moon.
That
Along
makes
with
sense with the everybody with the healthy Myers.
Yeah.
What did they say? We had a period and a half with all of our 6 defensemen.
Yeah, it was sick. But then again, every team goes like in today's professional sports, forget even just hockey. No one stays healthy because the players are so big.
On the last 2 years, they've been in the top 5, I'm sure, for injuries.
I think the biggest make it or break it for the Jets this year is going to be the fact they got to get these penalties under control. Yeah, we do not have the defensive and goalie prowess to be in the top, well, basically within the top 2 or 3 penalized teams in the league for 3 years running and expect to have a chance, because there was an awesome article they did on ESPN where they're talking about the fact that how much more potent and important the power plays are every year in the last 5 years for the NHL. It's not that there's more goals, because less goals in general, but the percentage of power plays and there's less penalties in general, but the percentage of power plays that are generating points is higher than ever. So the fact is that you can't, where if 60% of your goals in the entire regular season are going to come on the power play, for any given team, the Jets can't keep giving people power plays. They can't. And if there's one downfall to Maurice, and I love the guy, and I think he's the right coach, he's got to change that culture.
I think it's more attributed to the youth of the Jets. I mean, when you're that young, your emotions aren't as under check as you'd like. They're reacting immaturely and getting those stupid penalties, those sticking infractions. I think that's going to naturally decline because they're a year older and wiser.
It's got to. It has to, because I think that's the one thing. Because coaches always take the downfall, right? Their team doesn't make the playoffs, they get fired. But is a coach out there playing? No.
He's got to be
the coach at the post 15 times? No. But one thing a coach can do is coach them not to take fucking penalties.
Yes.
Because that's something you can do.
They've got to be coached to that degree. I mean, they're professional hockey players. They know they're not supposed to take these penalties. I still think it's a maturity thing. Yeah. It's the instinctual thing. You can't coach that out of a young player. They're going to react immaturely. They're young. They're getting frustrated. They don't know how to cope with that frustration. They don't know how to bottle that up and say, I'll take that. I'll take your number and fucking deal with you later. Yeah. It's the bigger picture of the young players.
I see it in the younger players too, right? Like they're fine for a while. You can penalize them, but then there's the testosterone gets in there, and it doesn't matter what you say.
It's like every year. It's going to be an interesting year.
It's a game of
the nice thing is the Jets won't be that young. Like we're only going to be like the projected the 4th or 5th youngest team in the league anymore. Like because of the fact that Scheifele's how many years? A lot of guys in their 2nd or 3rd year. Ehlers. Yeah. We're not going to have to start. Like we shouldn't have to start like 4 rookies this year.
I don't think we're going to have many rookies.
No, at all.
2 tops.
Yeah,
I mean, who's going to make the team? Maybe Tucker Pullman.
Maybe a 6th-line defenseman
for a few games.
The guy from the Moose for defense, our guy, the number 9, he's got to come up with Stanley. Is that his name?
Logan Stanley.
Yeah. You think he's going to crack the team as number 5 or 6 this year?
I think he's the guy who's a year away, I think, from even making
I don't know.
The Jets or the Moose. I think they're sending him back to the...
He played Moose last year, didn't he?
Am I confusing Logan Stanley with Tucker Pullman, maybe?
Yeah.
Tucker Pullman was the guy they signed out of college. Wasn't Logan Stanley the draft pick? The really 6'7"
guy? He played on the Moose last year.
Are you sure?
For the last, at least half the season after
this was... okay, yeah, see? Yeah. Summer off from the Moose story. I mean...
I know, I'm pretty jacked. I think...
Yeah.
Because... I unfortunately, I think... unless it's incredibly close. And even then... They'll call for a head. But, and we haven't re-upped to the GM, have we?
No.
This is last year.
Yeah. And Maurice is a year after this?
Yeah, easy buyout. And he's on for a lot on the book, so if they could count him and pay it, they wouldn't care. Because a new GM is going to bring in a new coach. So if we don't re-up the GM...
They don't make the playoffs, I think.
I think it's going to be a shovel day off and a Maurice change.
Depends on the reasons for missing the playoffs, I think.
Yeah,
because he's done okay. I think he's done exactly what True North hired him to do.
From a
Except
GM
for the
perspective,
goalie fiasco, I think he can maybe. That's
and
his
goalies,
one blemish.
and there's no science to goalie. Yeah, everybody's had a goalie. It's been you roll the dice, you get lucky.
They played it smart, expecting them to perform better, but
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
They should never have thrown Sheladeoff under the bus.
No.
People were hard on him, but he led us to the fucking playoffs. Who can ever forget? What is it, 2 or 3 straight shutouts?
Not Sheladeoff. You mean Pavlik.
Pavlik.
Yeah.
Pavlik. Oh, sorry, Pavlik.
Yes. For today's podcast, Eric is now a true musing little Chevy was a nut. He was
awesome. Yeah.
Motherfucker.
It's going to be a fun season.
It is.
All summer I've been waiting for the preseason.
Last year I was nervous going in, and the result was almost bang on to what I expected. And this year,
I was optimistic.
I will say that the Jets, I called it and got so much shame. I said they weren't going to make it last year. It's on record on Twitter. Check it out. But I'm going to say the Jets make it like they did 2 years ago with 2 points to spare. And it'll be the 7th or 8th seed in the West.
If that happens, I don't think we're ever going to get better. I think it's now or never.
The muddy middle is awful. I think if we're trending towards that, I think this is where Chevy's got to step up and we got to make a move. And if it's a mid to lower high grade draft pick, and I'm really talking about in the Ehlers level, so not Liney, but Ehlers to somewhere in there, to get someone who's a Hollywood name, whether at that point, if it's another stud defenseman, which I really think that's what we're short.
It's so hard to make trades.
I know, it is. But you know what? That's his job.
Mm-hmm.
We are short that 4th stud defenseman. Unless people just continually step up and Myers stays incredibly helpful and goes nuts. And honestly, injuries beget injuries. I'm sorry. God bless the guy. But I don't expect him to be there at the end of the season. No one ever comes back from history of injuries and is good in any sport. Today's professional athletes are operating on the fucking razor's edge.
Mm-hmm.
And once you lose that edge, whoever comes, look at Tiger Woods. Like anybody. You throw any athlete, once they lose their edge, no one comes back.
No.
I think if he has any value whatsoever going into this season, I would love to see him traded and get somebody who's like a half a tier down but 5 years younger or whatever it is. Just because I don't think he's going to... I think a year from now we're sitting on dead weight. With these guaranteed contracts, I think it's going to be hosed.
Yeah. That's why I think they have to do something this year because of the contracts that are going to be expiring.
No, I completely agree. People were talking about Perreault. I kept saying, you know what? I don't know if anybody would take it. And you know what? I think if the offer was there, they would take it. I don't think there's any even offers for something like for Myers. I don't think no one wants him. I think the people that run this teams have got to be 15 times smarter than I am. And they're like, no.
He was Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he was. But a lot of people were a lot of things. What do you do next year? Right? I was smart too back then.
What do you think? What is it? The Vegas Knights?
Oh, I love that.
What do you?
Gary Lawless and what's his nuts went down there.
Shane 1290.
Yeah, I love it. Good for them. I know I'll probably see.
I miss them. They were fun to listen to.
Yeah,
I listen to CGB all the time.
Me too. Well, no, I don't listen.
1290.
Yeah, I listen to 1290 all the time.
Is it cheaper to go down there right now and see a game?
The Jets prices are dropping because we are right on the verge of where I thought we'd be 6-7 years in, which is not the interest is waning, but this automatic sellouts are stopping, right? So although they apparently still have a waiting list, they're still pimping it.
Yeah, But at some point, does that end, or has he figured out a serum that seems to work for Winnipeg?
I think the Jets are financially fine.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a huge issue. To answer your question, though, it'll be real interesting because Vegas is going to have to keep their ticket prices relatively modest because I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
They're going to be dealing with, and I'm going to call it walk-up, but walk-up also includes tourists.
Yep.
Half that building every time is going to be tourists.
I think, a quarter of that at least is going to be Canadians probably out there partying. And how many of us are going to try to get tickets to the Jets?
Well, we're planning a trip, and you're more than invited, actually, because it's a very big group trip, but a wife turns 40 next fall. So right around the opening of NHL season, we're going to go down, and then whatever home game they have, probably odds are it's not the Jets, but we want to hit.
They're not in the same division. They would be in the Pacific, right? So there'll at least be maybe 2 games.
Yeah, 2. Well, it'll be 2 and 2 in the Pacific.
I don't know.
Yeah, because
don't go break the seal.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, he's gone. That's what happens. We push people to the max here at Musing While Boozing.
Just for a leeway here, I'm going to do my health speech here. So here's another. I was recently seeing a article about TSP on your cereal.
No, not TSP. You're talking about trisodium phosphate, which is
TSP.
Wow. Okay. Yes. I know.
Thank you for clarifying.
I read a college paper. I know that's for painting walls, but
which is it's used for many things.
Well, what are the amounts they're putting in a cereal?
Well, all I know is that I've been eating cereal for my entire life, and I'm not saying that's right.
Yes, but your skin is very clean.
Yes, my skin is very clean. But the problem is there's lots of other chemicals like baking soda, for example, where if you eat a shitload of that, you're going to be sick. It's not meant to be consumed in large quantities at specific periods of time.
Now, I know there's something behind this story, not yours, but in general, but trisodium phosphate wasn't meant to be consumed at all. It's not a food additive. I saw that same thing, and I meant to go off a cliff and do some research. I just got too goddamn busy.
I'll tell you this, they, from what I've read and what I understand is, yes, they do, and General Mills in particular adds a lot of this, and I'm not saying an amount, I'm just saying they add it to all their cereals.
Yeah. Does it keep the cereal shiny, or what the hell?
It keeps the texture.
Well, I guess.
It's like baking soda in baking. It leavens the dough, right?
I do like a crunchy Captain Crunch.
Yes. So that's exactly what it is for. Is it enough to kill you? In theory, no. Obviously, nobody's probably really studied this. I mean, the FDA approves it, all that kind of crap, but I don't know what to say on that one, really. My gut says, you probably shouldn't be doing it, but
well, I don't know.
All the numbers say it's all right.
It totally depends how much they're, like anything else, how much they're putting in there. So, but
it's minuscule amounts, right? It's they're saying actually that there is actually no residue left over by the time it hits the cereal, but
well, then they wouldn't have to put it on the label, man. I don't know.
Yeah. That's my health speech for this episode.
That's right. Every week we get into Mike's
I am an epitome of health here. I wish you guys could see a picture of me. Well, you might see a picture.
Oh yeah, well, this picture is going to be up on the episode. This episode, of course, is dropping on Sunday the 10th of September. Got to keep track because we're starting to get ahead of ourselves. This is awesome.
You know what I had for supper, by the way?
Beer.
Brownies and beer.
That's metal.
We had a salad. Not gonna lie, I turned into a salad tonight. I went for a big long walk this afternoon. Took the dog, got a bunch of exercise, and then we came back and started packing. Kids aren't here, so literally put all the stuff on their beds, pulled out the luggage, figured out we're gonna take 6 days at goddamn Disney. I'm doing the big bank transfer tomorrow to move all the money onto the credit card as a preload to, because we're going to use everything, right? You have wristbands when you go there and you just swipe your hands and all the food. Because one thing we didn't get is the meal plan. Because of the fact that we aren't buying our vacation package from Disney, we got the tickets for the parks and the flights through Air Miles. So the only thing I paid Disney any money for was just for the hotel room. So we're basically just tenants, I guess, and they wouldn't sell us the meal passes. So it'll be an interesting experience, but I know when I get back, we can have a chat about my delve into the week of consumerism that is Walt Disney and what else. So he'll come back like a raving lunatic and say, "Hey, you guys got to get down there." I know their 50th anniversary is 2021, and weeks for that year are already booking up because these Disney fanatics need to be there because Disney, I guess, holds a conference every year. And they talk about what's coming down the pipes, and the whole Star Wars land's going to be open by then, and there's planning special ride renovations. And so there are certain weeks in the year 2021, whichever the prime time weeks are for Disney, and I can't tell you what they are, that you can't book, that it's like 90% booked already. 3 years from now. That's 4 years from now. That's ridiculous.
How is that possible?
People are insane.
Do they know Walt Disney? Do they have any kind of association?
You know Walt Disney ever got to see Disney World? He died before it opened. Small fun fact. He saw Disneyland, was in the middle of building Disney World, and he died about 12, 18 months before it opened up. Never had to set foot on the place.
And that was actually the premise of Wally's World in European vacation.
You know what? That whole movie's gonna be the documentary of my family trip. I have no doubts. We have 4 hours to kill in Montreal, and then we will be hitting the parks. We don't even get there till like 8:00. We land 8:00, so we get to the parks for like 10:00 on Saturday, and then we're there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we fly back Friday.
I saw a station wagon, by the way. That green with that paneling. It must have been. I don't understand where this thing came from because it wasn't a real 70s vehicle, but it had that. It was like, it was
Plymouth.
It was like
my friend.
Why did they do it? Like, what? Why would somebody do that?
Like, growing up, when I was really young,
on the outside of the car.
We had a station wagon that pulled a trailer, and we went to a campground just outside of Portage Prairie, Miller's Campground, and the people beside us, and of course I was an adult, but I was a kid. I didn't understand what was going on. Long story short. They drove there in a big blue van, and we drove there in a station wagon, and the dads got drunk, and a week later we traded vehicles. They bought our van, and we bought their station wagon. I think they were in the middle of downsizing and wanted something with less horsepower, and we bought their big Chevy Econo extended van, and that was the van that I had, right, that big blue van we had. And we got it from a trade at a campground one weekend. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Mike's making the break for the pisser.
God, I should never broke the seal.
You should have broke the seal, and you should have broke your collarbone.
That too.
So, yeah.
Nobody ever makes cars like those cars in the 80s again.
What was your first car?
The infamous Hyundai Pony.
Hyundai Pony.
I am legendary amongst my friends.
Yeah.
We heatboxed that so many times.
Oh, God.
That car literally fell apart like in a Herbie movie.
Oh, dude. I'll wait till Mike gets
at the end, it's like basically I had like half a car.
Yeah.
Everything literally broke in that car at some point. That was the worst possible car for Canadian winters.
Yeah.
I had the standard model, no power anything. I don't think the Koreans who made this car had any idea what a Canadian winter was like.
No.
I used to have to put a fucking battery blanket around that and get the best battery possible, and still had to pull the choke and let it warm up for like 15 minutes, or just like if I put it in the gear when it wasn't warmed up, forget it, fuck it, will just shut off.
Yeah.
Nope, not ready.
No.
But I delivered pizza like crazy in that car.
Oh my God.
We partied in that car, and so many stories in that car.
The first car that I drove, and it technically became mine, I guess, and then it became my brother's. I'm going to wait till Mike to get back here because he was actually there for one of the first, literally, when this car literally started to melt. But it was the Nissan Stanza. It was a courtesy car from a wrecker in Portage that was a garage that was fixing our van one day, and they sent us this, and I think I was just turning 15, and my dad was like, I need a car for the boys to drive. So I think he paid $500 for it. This would be in 1990, and my parents drove for a little bit, and then as soon as I got my learners, it was technically my car, and then we handed it on to my brother. Between myself and my brother, I know we put 340,000 kilometers on that car.
Ooh.
We only dated girls outside of town. So we drove all over. That car it went to Gimli, it went to Dauphin, it went to Belmont, it went to every social in southwestern Manitoba. Plus my dad was also, he used to commute back and forth to Winnipeg during the day, and we were in school, and then he ended up eventually getting another car. But we drove that thing. I took it in 1993, summer of. We'd had it for a few years at that point. Would have been 2.5, 3 years I was driving it. And it was my car at that point. I picked Mike up, and we're going to university to go buy books. And just that that August visit to the U of M when you're starting school for the first time in September.
Spending student loan money on books.
Oh my God!
The rest is all beer money.
Yeah. So Mike, I was we've talked about your first cars that you actually owned. So I'm talking about that Nissan Stanza. Remember, we drove it to U of M. That's that beige car. We drove there.
It was an amazing vehicle.
Yeah, and then we did. What did we do?
What was it? 4-banger?
Oh yeah, 4-banger. And then we started driving it home. I remember when we were almost to the Eli.
Yeah, and it exploded.
Yeah. The engine mounts rusted, and the engine fell in the transmission, and so we're driving. and all of a sudden it just starts making this bad noise.
Screeching.
I got a similar story. I think this is going the same way.
And Mike's sitting in the passenger seat. I'm driving, and also Mike says, he flinches, oh, and molten metal is flying through the vents. And we're like, what's going on?
That was good shit.
And then the smoke starts pouring, and we can see Luke's town service at the Eli Deported Junction. We're like, so I panicked. I'm like, we're gonna make it. And so we pull in there, we get it stops, it dies. Mike and I push it in.
It's a regular Thelma and Louise moment.
Oh yeah, so we push it into the garage, and this is again pre-cell phones. And my dad's in Portage. We got nowhere to go. We talked to the guy, and we're like, can you look at our car? And this hayseed comes out, and if he wasn't chewing on a piece of straw, he sounded like it. And we cracked the hood, and he looks down, and it's just like it was like Terminator 2 had dissolved and hadn't reformed yet, and he was like, I need a tow truck. And so then my parents had a 1-800 number at the time. For my parent, remember, if they got in trouble, we called it from anywhere and just charged a 10 cent back home.
Now, side note, is that not weird?
Yeah.
1-800 number?
That's what they had. MTS was pimping them for a few years. Your kids go away. The 1-800 they
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. I still remember the number. Anyways.
That's funny.
So I called my dad, and I'm like, so the car is dead. He's like, what do you mean it's dead? I'm like, no, it's dead. He's like, so he drove all the way out in the van. Looked at us, made a phone call, and then we left, and then tow truck showed up and pulled it back. My dad didn't come in a replacement, and no, he bought a replacement engine. They re-welded the car and got it going, and then my brother drove it for their 2 years, and that's when, by the time he was done, it was like 370, 380. But that was that was the first car and then the first one I bought myself was like you. We both had Pontiacs. I had this Sunbird, and you had the what?
I had the Grand Am, 1987.
Mine was 88.
Copper.
Mine was blue. We both had all the plastic ground effects.
Yeah.
Oh, it was those boxy Chevy angular front end.
It was Grand Am, so it was a higher class than a Sunbird. But what that meant was
Sunbird. I don't know. I wanted one of those cars.
Yeah, that's what I had. I drove it. The first one I bought with my own cash was an '88 Sunbird.
Actually, I had one for a year. My wife gave me her old one when I was between cars when we first met. But anyways.
Yeah. We had the '88 Sunbird. It was a great car. I drove that one I drove it. Then I think my dad took it from me when I got a new car, and then he drove that one into the ground. It literally. I don't think
that's what youth was all about: driving beaters.
And, you bought a cheap
car. They probably have it so lucky they're not getting beaters.
How's that going, Mike?
I didn't get a car until I was 31 or 32. That was my first brand new car, not used.
Yeah, me too.
I went through so many cars in my 20s, it was not funny.
Yeah. And that's fun.
A lot of time.
You got a lot of experience, a lot of brands, a lot of,
Yeah.
A new car every 2 years for $500.
Yeah. Well, at one point, I think I had like 10 different cars in 1 year.
I know Wendy's family was the same way. She grew up, and her dad used to buy them at the MPI auctions, redupe them. The girls would drive that car for like 6 months to a year, and then get a new one and just sell that one off and keep doing it.
I had a friend hook me up, but his dad worked at a body shop. And he took my old pony off my hands for like $500, and then I gave him another $1,000 to find me a car.
Yeah.
And okay, I don't have anything right now. Here's a shop car that you could, the dealer plates on it.
Yeah. Think of that, $1,000. Like,
but yeah, exactly. I'm thinking his son was one of my best friends. He's going to help you out.
It's like 12 tanks of gas now.
But he couldn't find anything. As time goes, he called me. I need that car back. I'll give you another one. Well, I'm looking for a car. I think this went on for like over a year and a half. I can't believe he was so nice to me all this time. But he did find one car at one point. So, okay, I got a car for you. Come and take a look at it. So I go there and I look at it, and it's like, okay, this is a Renault Alliance. Remember those cars? Yeah. But it literally looked like it was fucking dredged from the bottom of a swamp. Like, I'm like, are you serious? Like, I didn't want to be like a diva or anything. I gave him $1,500, but I expect a car that I could drive that did not look like it came from the swamp. Did not smell like dead body. Literally, like, I swear, I think it did come from the bottom of a fucking swamp. I could not believe the condition of this car. So I'm like, I gave him the gears, whatever, and he was nice enough to give me another dealer car for a while. And eventually I wound up with like an Impala or a Cutlass, or like a Chevy dad car.
Yeah.
It was, whoever owned it was a really fat dude because the driver's seat was slanted. It was curved in the back and it stuck like smoke. But it lasted about a year, I guess.
Yeah.
At one point, it was middle of January. We were coming from a bar somewhere, going down South Osborne, over the bridge by the golf course.
Yeah.
Fucking 35 degrees minus out there. Going 80 on that area. All of a sudden, car dies. Long story short, the crankshaft or the drive shaft went through the oil pan, killed the engine. I had no power, and I had to coast over that bridge. No brakes, no power steering, and I managed to steer it to that one exit road at the bottom of the bridge, and it died enough that we coasted to a safe stop without fucking killing everybody and driving over the bridge or whatever. And that was it for that car, I think.
Holy fuck, you're grand damn. That thing went at the end. It would drive with any key. You didn't need a key.
At the end, it was a pair of pliers that were used to start it, and then
at the very end, you just turn the end, like the inside.
Oh yeah, you didn't need a key. That was irrelevant. The most important thing was the engine was still good.
Yes,
still good. There was no windows in it, but
the engine was
still good.
Oh,
I got another 3 years out of it after that.
That thing was a beast. Yeah, we drove those Pontiacs in the ground.
Right, 1987, drove for probably 15 years. Second owner. That poor thing.
Well, and then you get old. And then you...
Well, no, what do you mean? I still am driving a 1998 GMC truck, so probably the last old vehicle I'll drive. I like it.
I think I was going to buy a new car last time, and then I did because I realized, well, hey, they're giving... You know what? Car dealerships aren't even selling cars anymore. They're just selling loans. And you get a free car. Mm-hmm. But because, with the financing, they just want to guarantee, they know if they make it. So I think I'm paying 0.9% on my car.
For 7 years?
For 7 years.
Oh, God, is that pain? Can you imagine 7 years?
But the thing is, because I went into that dealership, again, with the idea that, I'm going to buy a used car, and that's fine, because I have this new job, I got to drive around, they're paying me mileage. The car is sort of covered with the mileage they're paying me.
Yes.
Then what came up was the fact that we're sitting there and I'm talking to Wendy. I'm like, okay, wait, how old's Dylan? He's 13. So 3 years. When I probably want to go to this car, this one I'm driving as hard as I am right now, 3 years. Well, he's going to need a car. Okay, well, if we get this car, and you can pay down the loan early, we put a few chunks of money on it and stuff. I'm like, okay, so if we get this car paid off, and then it's Dylan's car, and then Gracie's driving 2 years after that. Like, you know what? We have guarantee, we have the warranty for 7 years.
Yeah.
Because we did pay the extra, a little bit for the extra years of warranty, so that at the end of 7 years, when both of them have driven this car, up until then, any major things covered. At that point, if there's any dollar value left, we'll sell it. But honestly, I'll probably just sell it to Dylan or giving it to Dylan, and Dylan will drive it until it ends up into the fucking dirt, and this will be his first car that's a beater that he will drive until it goddamn dies.
Thinking along those lines, I think my son's going to get my Mazda 6 at the end of next year.
Yeah,
a 7-year loan, it's up next year.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm
He's going to be 16-ish.
So we're buying this car because I got it at a good enough price at basically free money that I don't expect to make anything back end of it, but I expect this thing to be driven for probably 10, 12 years total because it's going to be his car.
Tell me about your Mazda 6. I'd like to know a little more about this. Since my son owns a Mazda 6.
Your son doesn't own a Mazda 6. You own a Mazda 6, and your son drives a Mazda 6. I'm going to make that very clear.
No. I don't own this anymore. It was a grad present.
Yes. Who paid for it?
Us.
Yes. You own it.
But he has paid insurance this year, so that's a good start. But I find that you have to go out to either the Mazda dealer or there's no third party to fix that.
I've always taken my Mazdas. I've had a 3 and then a 6, so I've always dealt with Destination on Portage.
Are they like a Mazda? What is this? A third party?
No, it's Destination Mazda. It's a Mazda dealership.
Because here's my ordeal. So all I need to do is replace a thermostat. Well, they don't just sell the thermostat. They sell the thermostat and the housing. That's the way they sell it, right? There's no one part. And what was the last piece that I had to order? It was a piece of the water pump assembly. And they wouldn't sell me just the one piece. It had to be the entire hose. And I'm like, I don't need that. So is that...
I've never had any
Have
problems.
you ever experienced anything like that, or is that just...
My cars have been great. The little problems. I haven't had any out-of-warranty issues, really. I think I need new brakes on my Mazda 6, which is whatever. I'm just so happy I'm not driving beaters that needed fucking repairs every 3 months, every 2 months, whatever.
So it's definitely worth the repairs when you put them in, though.
I've been super happy with my two Mazdas.
Yeah, the same thing with my...
I find the Mazda is definitely a higher quality.
Yeah,
it's
Kia / Hyundai, they're made from the same factory. But I've been, knock on wood, I've had incredible luck with them. And we both have Kias now at the back of the Kia.
Are they the ones with the 10-year warranty?
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me about.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It is, it's crazy. And I've had, this is my 5th or 6th Everside that Tim you're on. Yeah, I've never had any major warranty work on any of them. But this thing,
runs are the sports ones, right?
It was, yeah. But now I have the Hyundai Soul, the Kia Soul, and Wendy's driving the Kia Sorento, and we've had no issues and heavy use. And you put winter tires on them, drive them.
I just went winter tires for the first time last year. What a fucking difference!
Well, this came up, I think this afternoon somewhere else. Yeah, I'm the same way. I've had winter tires once. I've never not had them since, and this is only the last 4 or 5 years. It's so funny. You hit your brakes, the car stops. You hit, most importantly, you hit the gas and you're not spinning. It goes.
I got so sick and tired of taking 15 seconds to cross the road.
Go, yes. Yeah. You hit gas and it goes. It makes it's more the going. You learn as a prairie kid to learn how to judge your stopping,
especially,
and you know it's going to be icy.
Yeah.
But then
you don't really stop.
I learned on the streets of delivering pizza.
Yes.
I was literally the pizza driver of the year. I think for 7 years running. That's all I did. From the time I was 18 to 25 was deliver fucking pizza, as well as working at Georgie's. But
I wonder how the skip the dishes goes. Delivery driver for them, right?
I saw one at Wendy's. We were there for lunch.
Gig.
I don't know.
I hope
it's easy these days to be a driver. You got GPS and a phone.
Yeah.
We never had any phones when I was delivering pizza.
You remember you had paper maps at best?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we just figured it out.
Yeah.
We studied the map before we left the fucking restaurant. And maybe, we would have a map in the car, but I know every street in Charleswood and St. James from delivering pizza.
Yeah.
When my first job was at Legault Pizza. I remember those crappy pizzas in the late 80s. They pretty much invented the 2-for-1 pizza, 2-for-1 and 30 minutes are free.
Uncooked ones or
No, they were the cooked ones.
I thought the same thing when I said Legault. No, I've never.
I was thinking
red and yellow themed.
We grew up in Portage, so we didn't. Uniforms. That would have just missed us. I think when we came in.
They might have been out by the time 93 was.
93 is when we came in.
I
think they were called submarine pizzas or something. They were pre-made pizzas.
Well, but they still have that here at the
what do they call it now?
Well, it's not a chain, but there's one guy. It's Pisani's. It's at No Frills. As you walk in,
you just throw it in the oven for 20 minutes.
Pisans?
Yeah, Pisans. Riley and I had that for dinner 2 days ago.
Papa Murphy's is the
same thing, yeah. And Portage had one too like that, which was yellow submarine pizza or something like that. My dad used to get those when we were growing up.
Bacon was crazy though. When they did the 30 minutes for free, everybody was fucking phoning. On a Friday night, they would have 3 or 4 girls working the phones, 3 or 4 people making pizza, 2 people working in the ovens. Would have maybe a dozen drivers on a Friday night. We would have pizzas lined up. And people would be looking, when we would show up, they'd be fucking looking at their watches, minutes to the fucking second.
Yeah.
And if we took Charleswood orders, and it was 35 minutes, we had them on, because we'd have to go around the fucking perimeter.
Yeah.
And the pizza was crap. I mean, they had a production line, assembly line mentality for the pizza. Every bit of topping was measured, so they had exact. Of course, a Greek owned it.
Yeah, of course. That's what I paid.
It was a loud restaurant. The screaming Greek restaurant owner is just ubiquitous.
Harder, faster.
But what a fun job that was. But good money.
Yeah.
We made $5 an hour, which was maximum wage then, plus tips, but 6% commission on every pizza. So we'd all fight for the big orders, right? Fuck, I don't want to take these 2 smalls to Charleston.
Yeah.
But it would still, if you worked from 4 to midnight on a Friday night, we'll come out of there with $120, which is fucking I'm going to the bar.
Yeah, 35 cents.
$120.
35 cent a liter gas and 15 cent beer.
Yeah, and $3 smokes and.
Remember standing? It was grade 12.
So what do they do now?
In '92, 6 beer was $7. Can you imagine?
When?
Yeah, so
No, 12. 12 beer No, yeah,
It used to be about 15.
Oh,
yeah,
beer was
six pack was $7. Yeah,
$7.20.
$7.
What are they now? I just pay.
Do they
Well,
even,
I do
sell
too, but-
6 beer anymore?
Well,
Yeah, they
guess
do.
so, yeah,
They do,
yeah.
but they sell them in a higher quality, so they can spend.
I know 48
You
beer.
pay 12 beer for the price of 6.
48 beer was $80. They sell a 48 pack of Coors or Bud when you walk
Yeah,
into
but
the
who
vendor
wants to
street.
drink that crap?
Well, at least you're getting it to. That's down to.
Ah, man, I can't drink that.
Now we're back on topic because it is musing while drinking.
Yes.
Yes.
Alcohol topics. There we go.
Well,
I'd actually switch.
I
to
know it was
vodka.
a buck of beer when we were growing up. Essentially, if you bought from the vendor, it was a buck of beer.
yeah.
And now, at best, at 48 beer for $80, you're basically getting $2 a beer.
Yeah.
And you got to buy a huge cube of 48 of them to goddamn
This
do
is
it.
why I
Of
drink
garbage
whiskey.
beer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly. It is now.
You could get
Before,
40,
back in the
you
day, it
get,
wasn't, but now.
What? Maybe I drank like doubles or triples at a time.
Yeah.
A whiskey, but a bottle lasts me a week or two.
Well, we
Because I
saw
drink a lot
whiskey
of it,
for
but
sale
it's-
in Cleveland, and you could buy a Mickey, Canadian Mickey. It was $2.99. It's made in New Jersey. We were daring each other to buy it to see if
Is
anyone
that
would
like
buy
the wild turkey equivalent?
No, it was worse.
Wild turkey.
It was like Ed's whiskey.
It's whiskey.
Yeah, it was on sale for $2.99
Half malt, not even a single
for
malt. Half malt.
13 ounces of booze. I'm like, you have to hit a station in your life where you're paying $3. Like, granted, U.S. can have some crazy sales on booze. Like, I bought Sailor Jerry's down there. I got a 2.6 for $9.95. And I thought I was on fucking planet. It's $9.95 American, which is equivalent of like $13 Canadian. And that's exactly half price. It's up here, it's about $27. And I was like, sweet effing Jesus, that is fucking cheap. But then I saw $3 like
Old Milwaukee? Oh.
no. Well, and then when I was in Vegas, the cheapest I saw was you could buy a cube of Coors Light for $9.99. So it's at 24. You get a 24 pack for $9.99, and that was at 7-Eleven. And they were blowing it out, and I bought some and threw them in the. When Trevor and I went down to my cousin to Miami to go see an NFL game, same thing. We bought Corona, and Walmart had a huge sale on Corona that night, and it was 24 Corona for like $12.
So that's the dirt beer down there.
The random producers put something on sale, but Walmart had it super cheap.
You mentioned buying Coors at 7-Eleven. I used to live in Quebec.
Yeah.
People in the States are used to this, buying booze wherever you fucking can.
Yeah.
Outside of Quebec and Canada, this is not a thing.
No.
Why? We're now ready for legalization of marijuana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
why
we still can't go to the fucking grocery store and buy alcohol. Like, god damn.
I know.
Like, fuck
So
off.
regulated.
Like, really?
I was 14 in Quebec and going to the dépanneur and buying wine. Nobody would ask me for it.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe be less of a problem. The drinking, the driving, and
If I would have lost my work
tabooize
laptop,
it, right?
I can
Like-
show you guys amazing security videos of from the U.S. So there's this one, and some awesome LP guy, loss prevention, put some subtitles across the bottom. It was in suburban Los Angeles, and so this gentleman is working his first night shift at 7-Eleven. Now, even there in the U.S., they put locks on the doors for the alcohol.
And some gas stations, you can't buy alcohol for like after 10 p.m.
Yeah, 10 p.m. 11.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and the same thing here. This is where it was. So they put the locks on, and then they show Buddy. He's mopping the floor, and at 2 in the evening, he's mopping the floor. He's going by the beer cooler, and you see him put his mop against the door. He goes to the counter, and he takes the key, and he opens up the beer cooler, and he takes a beer. And then it was like Benny Hill. They start fast forwarding the video, and he's mopping, and he comes back. And
He's
gets another
coming
one.
back.
And
I got
another
a
one.
story.
Yeah. So he's sitting there, and he's drinking. He drank 4, and then he just he stands up. He threw his mop to the side. He grabbed the case, and he walked out of the Sev and left. And this video shows people walking in, and there's no one working, and the beer door is open. So we watched that at a loss prevention training video when I was a district manager with 7-Eleven back in 2007. Oh my god, was that so funny. But they did it so well with the Benny Hill. He just left with the beer. And they said they literally followed the cans to his house. They knew where he was.
That reminds me of when I was working at Georgie's, right?
Mm-hmm.
This time I wasn't working at the till in the vendor, I was bar back and also stocking all the shelves in the vendor, right? Like, there's a massive fucking warehouse of beer back there that you could drive a forklift into the garage door, right? A couple of friends of mine were working there as well. One other guy was a bar back, and the guy worked the till. I won't mention any names. But,
no, of course not. That's what we do here.
I realized something was up when I would go there on a night when I wasn't working, go and buy beer in the vendor. My buddy was working the till. I'll give him a 20. He'd give me back 2 10s. All right, wink, wink. All right, so, little benefits from working at the place.
Love it.
Then I caught on, and him and his other friend got a little thing going on how to get beer out of that vendor really easy without being shown, because they had video cameras at the big garage door at the back of the building to see if anything's coming or going or whatever. But the trick was, as I was taught, when you're going up, take the garbage out in the back.
Yeah.
You know, there's a wheeler, and you usually have to use that to wheel out the big fucking garbage can. They would stack those 2/4s of cans that were thin. You can fit about 5 or 6 or 7 of those in a garbage can. Put like a little garbage bag on top. You're wheeling that out. The guy in the hotel front desk looking at the video camera just sees, the vendor guy's taking the garbage out. There's like 5 or 6 2/4s. We'd take that out to the BFI, but it was enclosed, right, with a lock, and it was a wooden enclosure. But there was a big fucking gap at the back of it where you could easily stack things behind the BFI, that pool behind the bar, go to the parking lot behind there, reach under, grab a bunch of 2/4s, go to the parties. You're the fucking king of the party. So I started doing that. Yeah. I'd also sometimes my friends would be in the bar, but like, go drive outside, go to the back of the vendor at 10 o'clock or something like that. They'll drive by. I'll be taking the garbage. I'll be fucking with 2/4s into the back of the fucking trunk. So I did that a few times. Maybe, I don't know, 5, 10, 2/4s pop. They were doing this on a regular fucking basis. The inventory was not matching up. No, everybody got fired except me.
There is a discrepancy.
You know what?
Of course, he was going to parties and everyone give him free beer, and word got back. Yeah, he's fucking doing beer.
We weren't as cool, but we did it with other things, such as KFC chicken and...
before that, though.
The chicken that they throw out in the
dumpster. We just show up. But Mike and I, we grew up, we started working at, in 1989. That's after the school ended. We both started a couple months apart at McDonald's in Portage Prairie. God bless you, McDonald's, Portage Prairie.
Bless you.
Shout out to, let's see, we got Christy McLeod, we got Farmer, we got Donnie.
So many.
We have, who else? We're Donnell. I'm trying to think of who else worked with us. And same thing, taking garbage out. Well, after every garbage run went out with like packs of Danishes, burger patties, buns.
They had Danish?
Back in the day, they remember the Danishes? They used to have a
burger patties
kind of thing with
buns,
cherry.
That was their dessert. That was their apple pie.
That was their apple pie. Yeah.
These things are going out the door, and then of course, when you're just leaving, just bags and bags of burgers. And we were there during the pizza launch. Every time you close,
KFC had pizza?
No, McDonald's. McDonald's Portage Prairie. McDonald's Portage Prairie. So we would walk out of there at close place at 11. Myself, Ty Barber, who was my old neighbor here in Charleswood, he lived at my old place. We would walk out of there with 3, 4. My dad loved the fact that I worked there. What'd you bring me tonight? Sausage and onion?
Like sausage and onion.
Yeah, we make crazy pizzas there.
Was there a McSausage?
There was McDonald's for their pizza had all the...
the McDonald's pizza. Right.
I remember that huge lunch?
That was like $3 or something.
Yeah.
You know what I think?
It's 4 slices, 1 pepperoni in each.
But the family sizes were awesome.
Another menu option. The McSausage.
Yeah. No, you got to Google McDonald's family pizzas. We went there, and they're about $12-14 for a family. And you could, but then again, you had access to the topping. So I would look. It was like this thick with sausage and onion and like pepperoni. So it'd be like a $20.
Onion pepperoni.
The entire organization canceled it within 5 years. It was the most unsuccessful fast food lunch in the history of fast food. Because they kept the ovens just to make goddamn buns, and they made pie. They cooked in there.
Burritos and a bunch of other things.
Yeah, but it was a huge pizza. They put it in every restaurant. And they pulled it back within 5 years, and it was those
didn't last long.
Well, those ovens
were longer than McRib.
I like the
McRib keeps coming back. We are big McRib fans.
I love that formed meat. I know it's garbage, but I love it.
The fart was the definition of off.
No, it was good. So you're
Something
eating.
was off.
So you're eating food that is partially plastic, which you really got to look at it and say, listen, am I being fulfilled? Am my taste
I think it
buds
was
being
the sauce
enlightened?
that did it. The
It
meat
was
was
bullseye.
fine. I think you live with the meat.
You can
The
still
sauce
buy
was
those.
Weird.
I did a Super Bowl party last year.
Was it Costco or where
No,
did you buy that?
M&M Eats.
Yes.
M&M Eats sells those exact same patties, and you dump them in your
Put
slow
the
cooker.
Western barbecue on there.
You put on some
onion,
bullseye Western barbecue, throw some onions in there,
pickles.
and let it cook at
There you
low
go.
on your slow cooker for about an hour. Get those patties back up to temperature, and then put them on those Italiano sub buns, and put some mayo on there.
Ciabatta buns.
Yeah, exactly. You put them on there. They are the closest knockoff to McDonald's McRibs you could ever get, and they're fucking fantastic. They still
You should YouTube that recipe.
don't have to. It's locked up here in the vault.
It's some good shit. Yeah.
My God, 3 episodes in, we broke the record again.
So let's I want to play another tune from Maiden Manitoba.
Okay, you like another Maiden Manitoba tune? Okay, well, for those of you that are still tuned in here, then here, plug in, because I'll do it on my phone, so we can run the monitor here.
Okay,
Yeah,
I want it.
here you go. So, during this intermission, Eric has gone to relieve himself. We are more than happy to play one more song here from Maiden Manitoba. And Mike, which one do you want to hear up here today?
Oh my goodness! Here, I had it loaded. My God!
You just tell me.
Fill the space while I tell you.
Mike's looking up here while I pull up the YouTube. Is it Hallowed by Thy Name?
Yes.
Okay, well then here we go. Folks, what we have here for you today.
You must have read my mind there.
Is the next song we have up here was Maiden Manitoba, recorded 3 years ago, and it's Hallowed by Thy Name.
Yeah, fire it on.
We will play a few minutes. It's apparently 7 minutes long, so we're not going to play the entire thing. But they are firing up. We see shout out to Calvin Turco. We see you on the stage. They're firing up here. Again, all the Maiden Manitoba links will be obviously found in the description, so please take a peek.
The bell begins to chime, reflecting on my past life, and it doesn't much time. Cause it's behind the clock.
Incredibly impressed with these guys can pull off. As a tribute band, playing the Hallowed by Thy Name.
Hallowed be Thy Name?
Yes.
That's my favorite song.
Excellent. Well, we are thoroughly enjoying it. This was the one covered 3 years ago at the zoo. November 22nd, so getting close to exactly 4 years ago. This has been one of your first gigs. No? 2013? Well, November 22nd, 2013. That's 4 years ago, so it would have been fairly...
Wait, that's not me. That was before I did this.
Oh!
They had food children.
Breaking news. I thought you were there for the formation of the band.
No, it started with Brad Talbot and Kyle.
Okay.
Straight section, basically.
Right.
All them, Turbo and I joined, they can't be Turbo.
Interesting.
Our first show May of 20.
So it's had quite the
14,
more
I guess?
thing.
14?
Yeah, so this
Like,
would have
it's
been
definitely
2013.
changed over the years, I'm for sure.
A little bit, not
Yeah.
much.
Interesting.
But the feel, I tell you this, regardless of the members, like it's always been that feel of the band is, it's always
Well,
there.
Kelvin's voice, again, to reiterate, is I am, shout out to Kelvin. You emulate in such a way that with your eyes closed and just the right amount of THC in your system, you're at the concert again.
Well, he is dedicated to his craft. He's
Yeah.
worked hard at the vocal techniques, which is a must. our first few shows, it was a struggle for the second show for him to keep his voice because,
Right.
I mean, he's doing like 3 sets, 20 songs or whatever, 2.5 hours to do that the next night. I mean, I don't know how Bruce Dickinson himself does it over the years.
Like practice was flying planes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a muscle that you really have to develop and learn how to manage.
Did you know that, Mike?
Yeah.
That when he, Bruce Dickinson, he actually, when he's not in Maiden Manitoba, Maiden Iron, when he's not covering Maiden Manitoba songs, that he is actually a certified 747 pilot.
Holy shit! No,
Also
I did not.
a champion fencer.
Yes, the guy's like a Renaissance
Fucking
guy.
awesome. Man.
He's a polymath they call him, which is kind of like the term for Renaissance.
Yeah,
Somebody who excels, I think, at anything they try. Maybe the sort of definition.
it's incredible.
So he's
got a
awesome.
book coming
He
out.
is awesome.
What does this button do? So I'm definitely going to read that.
Yeah,
Which I think kind of defines the man himself. Very curious, right?
excellent.
Wow.
Very interesting dude, that's for sure.
So again, just to reiterate, so you guys actually you're doing auditions for a drummer.
Yeah.
But you do have a show. When's your next show booked?
October 28th at the Merchant Hotel in Selkirk.
Merchant Hotel in Selkirk. So
The merch.
maybe we'll have to do a road trip and maybe do a show from there that night or whatever. Check it out.
That's
Guys,
a small
because-
venue, but it's intimate. We had
That's okay.
nothing but bikers. I think they're our first show, our only show there
No, it's not that
last October.
Excellent.
Do you like those ones better? The intimate or
To a
does it
degree,
matter,
yeah.
or-
Like the Cavern is the definitive intimate show venue
Yeah.
because I've been at the basement of Totem Hall. It's
I've,
you have 50
Yeah.
people in front of you. It seems like 500. So that's
Yeah.
what's really cool about it. People have no choice at the Cavern basically to stand in front of you because there's like 4 chairs,
my
2 tables.
my brother-in-law is with the French band Yakachos or whatever, and they played there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's cool that music lovers go to see a show there and stand in front and not just sit at a table with their drum scratch, which was the show at the Oak that we did was kind of like that. We managed to get maybe 100 people out on a January night, which was great. But a lot of people didn't want to stand in front of the stage. They're all staying at their tables.
Yeah.
So we're looking like
Yeah, so
it
do it
was
there?
odd, but it was a good show. But it was just odd.
It's
but
more
the
like a
Cavern, you
concert.
get that visceral crowd interaction. Everybody's right in front of you, and it's dark and damp and
Excellent.
loud and a pain in the ass to play at though because of the load in.
Yeah.
If you're a musician, you want easy
Everything
access to getting set up.
downstairs.
It's fucking slippery downstairs, up back lane, no parking,
Well,
nowhere to really store your gear. It's all in a
Yeah.
cramped space, but that's the Cavern.
yeah. Well, folks, if you want a good time, we encourage you to head out there, Maiden Manitoba. Check out their website in the link. Hit them up on Twitter. Send them on Facebook. They're all over YouTube. You can't go wrong. There are definitely worse ways to spend your live entertainment dollar than to go out there and see some amazing bands. And of course, if you need some coding, we got a link in that space too.
That's right. I am here for your Microsoft needs.
Do you got any upcoming Winnipeg shows?
Just the one at the
Just the one so far.
Tijuana in January.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's private. We can't get in there.
As soon as we
I
get
know,
a new
we
drummer,
can't-
we'll
we
be
can't
back
get
at
in
the
there.
A, which
Excellent.
is one of the reasons why we don't have our last drummer.
Well, if you and there is a juicy tidbit. Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, when you have a show, or you won't be on it, but send us a note. musingwellboozing@gmail.com, and we will make sure we put a shout out on the promo.
Shouldn't it be info@musingwellboozing.com?
No, we are not that complicated.
It's like $10.
Yeah, yeah, we could have. You know what? They wanted an extra. We got they sell you GoDaddy. Thank you so much. They sell you the domain cheap, and then to add email was like $8 a month. And right now we're just paying $3 for a year, and the Gmail's free. So everything reroutes when you go to musingwellboozing.com. It throws you to Podbean, which is an incredible host. We love them. Podbean. Unlimited file size, unlimited bandwidth, unlimited download for a very reasonable price every year. And we're using, and oh my god, I got a call center calling me every day. But all we're using GoDaddy for is to reroute to there, because they were so much cheaper. $2 for them, like, I think $100 for the year. $100 for the year. Yeah, $100 for the year for unlimited bandwidth at Podbean. And their customer service is great. They answered all my questions. They auto post these files for us every week. They're fantastic.
Great.
That sounds like a time-saving effort.
Time-saving, money-saving, and
More drinking.
More drinking, less thinking. Well, boys, this has been a blast. We just broke the record again. Thank you, Eric, for taking us for 2 hours, 15 minutes.
Carrying us along in episode 3.
That's right, episode 3. We're pumping them out fast and furious. We do another one here in another couple of days. So we finish every episode with a cheers. Woo! Thank you so much. And for those of you tuning in, thanks again for your contribution. Please send us some comments. Check out everybody in the links. Make sure you stay in touch. And if you want to be on the podcast, you're in the Winnipeg area, or you'd like to call in, email us at musingwhileboozing@gmail.com and we'll make arrangements. Otherwise, folks, take it easy. And remember, the next round's always on us.
This has been an MK Cast production.
Musing while boozing.